All right.
Good evening, Willard.
Good evening. Are you ready for an exciting race? Amongst
I am.
pals. I am too.
I'm right off the bat. I'm hoping that JP's gonna have the endurance and the mindset for this after just coming off of a mystery ladder race that, from what I saw, was all dungeons and some sort of entrance as well. I wouldn't really wish two of those back to back on anybody.
Yeah, I know, right? I was watching it while I was working on setting up this restream and getting all the things done, and boy, it did not look like a fun scene. But that's what happens when you have boss shuffle in all dungeons. All right. Everything running well for you? You see everything, DT? We good to go?
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Right off the bat, we got a desert big key in the Sank chest, as well as a Sank starting at the Lumberjack house. So,
Mm-hmm.
we already know what that means.
So, well, that means that you're going to be hoping to find the castle small key before two castle tower keys.
Yeah, or save scum in that key and hoping that a mirror shows up early or something like that.
Something. I mean, that's
something.
You don't want to see the well there. You don't want to see the back of escape there necessarily, but there's ways around that. It's putting it in your mind right away. Oh crap! I might need to do something I don't want to do to get 3 items.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, anytime I walk past Lumberjack, I'm like, Uncle, 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 and if it's not Uncle, then I'm like, oh man, well, never mind.
Fairy fountain.
Uncle
Those
or
are the
Fairy?
ones.
Yeah, because Uncle you can get from that side, and Fairy is you can forget about. Well, we got our first Dark Cave over in Kakariko Maze Race right side. Gonna see what is in the woods. We got a map, and we got a heart piece on the side over here, so we're not gonna worry about that one.
Map of desert to go along with that big key for desert, and we're seeing right away it's a red crystal.
Red crystal, which generally when you find a map, you're hoping it's gonna give you either your non-green pendant or one of your blue crystals. And for those
Womp on
wondering,
Sean's side, Uncle's on JP's side.
there's another map for a Dark World dungeon. We have
There you
JP's audio for this race currently. He's listening to the Cadence of Hyrule MSU pack, which it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good pack. Big fan. Got some good tunes. I need to play that game again. I kind of put it down and then never picked it back up, even when they came out with like new stuff for it.
I've just flat out never played it.
It's a good game, especially if you have or have not played Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is what it's based off of.
Which I have not. But it looks super cute and super charming.
It's hard. It's a really hard game.
Oh.
But yes, it also does look cute and charming and all those things.
I missed where that castle left entrance was that Sean just entered.
That was at
somewhere in Kakariko, I guess.
That was at the witch's hut.
Oh, Witcher? Yeah. He just fake flippered.
Yeah, he saved and quit out of Kakariko library entrance instead of going into Kakariko. I guess just wanted to be thorough. The only downside... Okay, all right. That makes sense.
That's an interesting connector.
I was like, 2 bombs? You're not getting too far in here. Whoops, that is the wrong button.
You know what's kind of funny is that he went into the dancing right door and then went to the right side of the connector and dancing lady was there.
Would that be called French vanilla DT? Is that what the kids say?
I don't know. I'm not a kid.
Is that what all the children say? We've got a Quake medallion. So for you, when it comes to early game routing, do you rush Kakariko or do you like to do some other nonsense first?
I've changed some things up recently. Generally, yes. We got a vanilla well here, by the way. Generally, yes. Like I'll usually start from Link's house, head up to check the main castle entry, and Uncle drop down. Not the drop down, but the stairs, and I always like getting my drop downs like mapped out as soon as possible. But that's not always easy. But after that, usually I go to CAC. Lately, something I've been doing though is heading to the Lake Hylia shop, the fortune teller, and then the 4 checks over in the eastern area.
Yeah.
On the idea that maybe you get 100 rupees before Kakariko, and you don't have to worry about bottle vendor. But
interesting.
Usually, I mean, sometimes you wind up finding some fun things, like flute or boots over there, but course, it's not guaranteed.
It's tough just because that East Palace area is such a long walk, and especially if you don't have a glove to like get up to Eastern easier, you have to kind of go down to Flute 5 and then backtrack and go to Saha Eastern. So it's really easy to want to put that off until you find like a flute or, you know, find a connector that kicks you out over there. I did want to point out something interesting I saw on Sean's side. He checked the fairy cave. He saw that there was a key there, but I don't think he got it. I think instead he set up a hooligan. So I guess he'll come back for that later.
You might be right.
I hope he's not thinking this is like retrance or something, which, you know, the universal keys.
Well, was it a small key or a big key there?
It was a small key.
Okay.
But, you know, it could very well be like, I mean, the only keys in this game that are kind of useless are like Meyer keys. Kind of sometimes Skullwood's keys.
Kind of sometimes ice.
Kind of sometimes ice.
Skull and ice are, I mean, they're super convenient. Like, they absolutely help if you find them. Like, you don't have to worry about getting locked anywhere. Or in the case of Ice Palace, it can just make getting through the place a little bit more efficient.
Yeah.
Definitely the case with Meyer, but you can just full clear that place anyway without any keys going in.
It is nice coming into Meyer with a key, and you just go straight to left side with a fire source or whatever. But yeah, it seems like clearing the Kakariko area is working out pretty well. JP also finding the mirror.
Vanilla Tavern.
Which, you know, we were talking about that back of escape check. So now you can sequence break that and mirror. Though I guess doesn't really matter too much.
Long chili dog.
Foot long chili dogs.
I forgot I still have those on.
And I don't even know how I heard it, through Discord or through the Discord restream.
If you heard it through the Discord restream, which is good. That means you have audio?
I don't have game audio, but I had your alert audio.
I guess that makes sense. Kajiri, thanks for the 21.
It's fine.
It doesn't. It's not important. We got a book out of Meyer's shed. That's, you know, early ped check? Question mark. Early Desert Palace entry? Question mark. Still very early in this seed, trying to figure stuff out, but JP's got a...
Oh, and there's the front of Desert.
Pretty good chunk of items so far already. By pretty good, I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Got a couple big keys. Yeah, I was talking about that mirror, but that mirror is a lot more useful if you're, like, doing, like... I mean, it's going to be useful in Entrance Shuffle no matter what, and sometimes often required. But
you know what's actually really, really interesting about that mirror is that we've already seen a connector from the dancing lady's house that goes up to the top of Hookshot Cave.
Oh yeah, the floating island.
So we've got floating island access for a free item, and then that's like actually all of East Death Mountain right now too.
True, and JP was the one that found that connector, so he's probably got that on the back of his mind. I'd be kind of inclined to go up there right away because that is a lot of checks.
Yeah, I would finish up these checks here and then head back up because otherwise it's just to save and quit and start from Link's house and go somewhere else. So you might as well do this while you're in the area.
Mm-hmm. So right now we've seen Hyrule Castle and Swamp. I don't think we've seen any other dungeons yet.
The front of Desert.
Oh, we did? Okay.
And yeah, that's it. Front of Desert was at Northeast Cac, the other snitch house.
But I'm assuming whoever found it was like, nah, I'll check it later.
Yeah, that was JP going through Kakariko. So looks like Ganon's at the Sanctuary.
Just a glove away. Now maybe we'll actually see that small key. Sean.
It goes all the way up and around first, but yes.
I don't know why, but that was very funny. Okay, T-Rock
RNG
small.
minute routing.
That's a questionably required key, because it depends on where we find Laser Bridge.
It's a good one to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we saw JP not head back up to that hookshot connector and opt to come and check this stuff out instead. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad idea to just keep mapping out your lower world stuff, because the mountain is just such a maze to get lost into, to make sure that you're checking every single entrance, and sometimes you can miss one without realizing it, so... I mean, I think the name of the game for the first half hour is just map stuff out. Like, it doesn't really matter where you go, just get the info.
Map stuff out as efficiently as possible, and go from there. I do think JP was checking some more stuff, because I don't think he's been up to, like, the ferry drop down. I don't know if he saw where Ganon was, so maybe he was just trying to get some more information there.
No, he hasn't gone that way yet.
So...
It's not bad to get to, though. I mean, at least Sanctuary isn't at, like, the uncle spot, for once. So, like, it's actually a reasonable save and quit to get to some of those north checks anyway.
Now, this is interesting. Following that book that JP got to go check the desert ferry here, and then probably Agnes Cave, see what's on the desert ledge, and then hop into desert. You know, it's... Ooh, hype key find. It's gonna have some potential.
Hype find.
What have we got in here? Small key to desert. There's 2 items right
That's good.
Small key to thieves.
Small
Is
key to
also
thieves.
good,
That's one of the ones you're gonna want to find, no doubt.
It's you know, it's always one of those things in CrossKeys. It's like, oh man, I just hope I find the Thieves Town Small before I have to do all of Thieves. So, but then you get there and you don't have the hammer, and you're like, ah, come on.
Right.
Just.
So where does it end?
It's like me lately. Like with all the CrossKey seeds I've been doing, CrossKeys or Retrance, I've been like always holding off on dipping Eastern until I have the ability to do it in one shot. And you know, I think I've broken even on the amount of times it's been fine, or it's burned me. So nothing to report so far about the success of that.
That sounds about right.
I think it's a lot.
I like dipping Eastern.
I think it's a lot better to clear it, check it early if you have big key early but no bow. But if you just have the bow, then maybe just check the first 2. But I don't know. Ooh, okay.
Okay, here's the middle of Spectacle. We did see the top of it already.
Oh, we did?
Actually, I guess technically this is the lower. Yeah, I think we saw it on Sean's side, though, because it was just 10 arrows. JP wouldn't have gone back up for that. But he's going to drop down, and that's going to give us a new bit of entrance info.
Another connector.
Haven't seen Spec Mid yet.
See, it's confusing, because in my notes, the middle part for me is the one that you enter to walk upstairs. Oh, God. That's the perfect. When it comes to the usefulness of the book, I'll just think of that moment right there. That is a super hit or miss item.
So you're talking about the naming of what you call those caves. I just go by their orientation on the mountain.
So
top and then low, and then the left one is mid.
How do you write out Paradox Cave then?
So I have Paradox top, and then like the middle entry that you go through, like if you have the mirror and do the block, I call that one para right, and the one right next to it I call that para left.
Same.
And then the
even
bottom
though it's
one I
not
call
true.
para bottom. No,
one
it's
of
like
them's
not
just
part
like
of it at all.
just like a random cave that does nothing.
But
it's just
that's where this gets weird though. Like
it makes sense. It's
the
easy to
spectacle...
keep track of.
Yeah, like for me with the Spectacle exit that JP just came out of, like to me that one is Spectacle mid. Because I think like based on the actual levels in it, that's what it would be. GT small on the pedestal, that's not a big deal.
Oh, and there's that Hyrule Castle small in the desert, big chest, so now we can go to Zelda Cell without a problem.
I call that one Spectacle mid on my checklist, but when I check the actual physical entrance on the mountain, I call it Spectacle left. It's just how I name things. It makes sense to me when I play the game. It doesn't have to make sense to you.
Wait. Like the exit, like Light World bumper ledge, you call Spectacle left?
No.
Oh.
No, Light World bumper, I call Light World bumper.
Are you talking about the Death Mountain exit cave?
No, that one I call DM descent. I'm talking about the Spectacle.
Oh, the Kiki skip.
Talking about the Spectacle.
Gotcha.
Piece.
Yeah, I started calling that one Kiki skip because that's what you do in glitch modes to get
sense.
to pod or something.
Yeah, in all dungeons you can like use a bomb to clip through there and get into pod. Yeah.
It's funny because, like, you can have whatever names you want as long as you know what the hell you're talking about. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Like,
Oh, okay.
I got...
Gross.
I don't. Which big key was that?
That was the GT big key already.
Okay, cool.
And that was off the Desert
is-
Small that JP just got. In Hype Cave it was, yeah.
Glad that he was able to get through that, like dropping the bombs and then having the popos move out of the way. Like that's your only weapon. You've got to be able to kill them. And we've got all 3 medallions.
We have all 3. One thing I know is because like 2 of the popos, like the 2 on the left or left and middle are kind of close enough that if you place a bomb and then open up the chest animation will allow the bomb to continue to explode while the popos stay in place, and usually that'll keep them there and they'll get hit. But it's not very often you're in that situation.
It's just like talking to the Hype Cave NPC when you're waiting for the top wall to blow up.
Yeah.
Sean not even gonna check the top item.
Not even gonna mirror. Maybe he'll mirror now to check in the light world.
And then he can't get it now.
It's okay. It's gonna be nothing. It'll be nothing. It's fine. See?
Yeah, it's whatever. It's good enough.
No problem. He knew what he was doing. Man, it's CrossKeys. There's so many moving parts to keep track of.
Oh, I know. It's a lot. Back of Skull. That's a Paratop.
You can't hear it, but this desert music from Cadence of Hyrule is getting going. It's going. It's gone.
I'm listening to Pokemon Sword right now.
Ooh, nice. So Skullwood's boss. That's good. If we can come back, we need to have a sword, and then ideally a fire rod. But if we can come back with a sword and a lamp, you can bomb jump to do that one.
You know, if there's one thing I hate in this, it's finding the old man's house cave before actually saving him. And it's just in a completely... I mean, it's not a bad area right here, I guess. Being on the mountain is good.
Oh, was it up here?
Yeah, it was at the DM descent. But, like, I would rather it take me somewhere, like, really hidden that you otherwise can't get to.
I mean, that's kind of, like, the wacky part about this mode is that, your early game routing depends almost highly on, where your save and quit points turn out to be. Which, of course, one of them is always Link's house. Huh?
Depends Phyllion?
Yeah. Depends on Phyllion.
I had no idea that he shuffled the TR pegs. That's what he's doing right now.
Have you played inverted CrossKeys?
I don't play inverted.
Inverted, Link's house is shuffled.
Yes. I actually did have that in a mystery race. And I was extremely confused because that was the first time I'd seen that.
That's the one thing I like about inverted CrossKeys is that one of the entrances is always going to be in the light world, so you always will have access to the other world as a bunny.
Oh, that feels bad for Sean finding Chicken Hut and not able to do anything.
At least it's just Chicken Hut. Well, he'll be able to do something soon.
And yeah, he will, because... Actually, I'm interested. Is he...
He's saving the old man in the dark.
That cave is vanilla. He doesn't even have a good reference for where he is. Like, throwing a bomb's not going to help that much.
Yeah, but... JP popped in there and he said, nah, I'm not doing that.
I don't blame him. Usually I want at least some sort of a reference to where I am. Samaria, block, boomerang, hookshot. Sword is ideal, of course, but...
I think it's a lot more doable.
Actually, I guess the lamp would be most ideal.
I think it's a lot more doable, maybe, if you start from the other side? Maybe, I don't know. It depends.
The path itself isn't a difficult path. It's just not knowing where you are, not knowing when you're hitting that screen transition. But he did it, so that's cool.
Just a heart
and
piece
he's
for
going
his
to be
trouble.
rewarded in a moment with his own Moon Pearl.
But this is going to work out for him now, because he'll have this save and quit point, and then he'll immediately go check Chicken Hut, which JP didn't see. I don't think he saw that. He saved and quit right now.
No, I don't think JP checked any of those, but we got Sahasrara at, what was that, the Highly of Fortune, I think.
Yeah.
That's a real easy one to get that to.
Green Pendant, Pals of Darkness, and our first glove. That's good. And a small key too. Pod. Now perfect. So we found Mire, we found Swamp, Skull Boss, Desert Front, Hyrule.
Oh, we saw Mire?
Yeah, Mire was up on the mountain, I
I
think.
missed that. Okay.
I think we saw it on Sean. Well, dude, there's Pod, literally right next door. How perfect.
How neat.
Well, not much you can do in here. You could open up the front door and grab a couple checks.
How about that? With one key, would you?
Yeah. Though I always mimic clip every time. No matter what. Because you never want to miss out on, like, finding the boots over there or something.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I like making the check. I mean, especially in this case, like, if you really wanted to, this is so close to Link's house that you could save scum that key if this winds up being a total waste.
Yeah. Okay, there's Mire. It was in the Dark World. Or no, it was right here in Kiki Skip. Or Spectacle
left.
Oh, well, look at JP's reward for opening that front door. He gets a lamp, our first
I
fire
was
source.
typing in spectacle left. I didn't see it. Lamp. Cool.
Spectacle lamp.
Spectacle lamp. That's it.
There it is. So, we did see that dark cave that was over at Maze Race. Now JP can go save the old man without trouble. Now we can still not beat Mothula because we don't have a sword. This is also a good find, finding the dam.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough when you have a seed where it's like, okay, I have everything I need. I just literally need to find the dam to go beat Swamp.
Yeah.
And then it's like in the mire.
But we've got it
area or
early now.
something.
And we know where Swamp is. So, I mean, a small key and flippers, and suddenly there's stuff to do.
Right. So with a glove, do you think this is the? Do you like this way JP's routing this? Saha Eastern, then down to Flute 5. Because
You know what?
I can never decide.
Yes. I think I do. Just because with the screen transition going down to Flute 5 and walking all the way down and then all the way back up,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're not playing in entrance mode and you're going to beat Eastern, like you've got the bow, you can full clear the dungeon, and you're gonna do Sahasrahla, then you walk right, you pick up the rock, you go to Eastern and then Sahasrahla. It's just a cleaner route.
Yeah.
But for this, yeah, I think getting through this screen as efficiently as possible is correct, and then walking south to the other screen transition.
And then you find a connector, and then Flute 5 is gonna stay there forever.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't even matter now.
Well, yeah, because JP's probably never gonna go back and check that anytime soon, because that's a long walk.
I mean, unless
for
this is a dead
one
end.
check.
But
True, if this is a dead end, you can go right back. But hey, look, a dead end. Oh wait,
it's
technically not a dead end.
yeah, that's not a dead end. We got a mirror.
Did JP
I mean,
go
this is
back
all
up to
accessible anyway.
Floating Island, or did he?
No.
So
No,
he
I don't
found
think so.
another way up to West Death Mountain, then
I think so.
some other connector.
Well, I mean, now that he's dropped down, he's definitely not hitting Flute 5. So.
I don't know. There's still a chance.
Oh yeah, we could find a connector that takes us there. I think Sean's actually heading back up the mountain right now.
Yeah,
though.
this is gonna be Floating Island right here. Ooh, Tower of Hera.
Hey, it's Hera.
With just bombs.
We can't do anything there.
What? We
Oh,
can
we can-
get 2 items.
Just check 2 things. That's gonna eat up most of his bombs, though.
Would you spend a bomb
Especially-
for a heart container? Well, the
In
thing
this
is,
case, no.
you can farm bombs here, but
I would
I'll-
just use the mirror right there, personally.
yeah, because what? Nah, you'll be fine.
Maybe.
You'll be- Bomb that. Grab this chest. Go upstairs. Grab 1 bomb and then leave. It's perfect. Or a fire, or an ice rod. Wow, no ice rod on this seed.
Actually, Sean in the same position, like pretty much at the same bomb count.
Well, we are still. Maybe we'll get a Dark World check next time we go into the Dark World, because we have. I feel like we have some more dungeon info or dungeon maps that we found along the way.
We definitely have. Oh, JP not having enough money to go in and buy any. Like the bomb refill there would have actually been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that we have an ice map. Good thing he has 1 bomb left. Oh my. That's the worst. Like, when you're at a dead end like this and you need something you don't have.
Mm-hmm. Be like stumbling upon Hype Cave and you have no bombs. You're like, no, come on, man. I'm right here.
Oh, yeah, that's so rude. So Sean taking a little bit of a different route to check these entrances. Yeah, you're not doing anything in Aga Tower with that
Nope.
item loadout.
Yeah, Ice Rod does not work on the ball and chain guards there. And not enough bombs, so now JP can go back and buy them bombs.
I like this.
I do too. I think it's a good call, because you never know when you're actually going to get a dang weapon.
So like, even if, worst case, like, you find Vidi, let's say, but having 15 bombs instead of 10, like, and no bow, like, it's actually a pretty huge difference. It just helps.
This dead rock is going to get him. Okay, good. So right now, I think the biggest... Oh, JP's going to learn a lesson here. Boink. I don't
Can't
even
try the bombs at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how many bombs it takes to kill a gold ball and chain guard, but right now the biggest thing is probably that glove that JP found. So if Sean was to head towards the East Palace area, check the Legalia stuff, he would get his glove, he would get his info about Pod, and then he would find Pod.
Mm-hmm.
There is that Hyrule Castle Small that I think Sean found, but not JP.
Right. So, I mean, we know that it would actually be in logic to get to the back then, because we've got the small and lamp.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember where that Hyrule Castle Small was.
I'm not sure.
Might have been somewhere on the mountain, maybe. JP's now going to get his info. He'll find Ganon here, and then he'll get his third T-Rock Small at the ferry drop-down. And then, if he heads over to the Witch's Hut, he'll find his Hyrule Castle. Oh, it looks like JP does have his Hyrule Castle Small. Well.
Maybe it's
like...
Sean? No, does Sean have it? They both have it, I guess. Trying to see what's on Sean's tracker.
Yeah, it looks like they both have it. Okay. That's good. Ether. Well, I was about to say we don't need to check that. We have all 3 medallions, but that's just JP. He's got all 3.
It's interesting, as easily as it seems that JP found them, just the little bit of difference in routing means that JP is up 2 medallions and a glove. I mean, not that anyone's up 27 minutes into CrossKeys, but you get the idea.
Right. There's another map. Oh man, I didn't even realize that. That's Dunka's tracker that Sean is using, right? I believe so.
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't realize that you can.
Sick kid.
It tracks the map. That's pretty nice. I've been thinking about adding that to the emo tracker stuff, just because it'd be kind of nice to keep track of more random crap. Oh, I forgot about this. Did find the dam over at the East Palace area. There's our second GT Small. We know there's one on the pedestal that we're not getting, so... Yeah, JP with his glove now has a bunch of one-offs to go check, and, you know, Zora is in logic, which is probably why JP went out of his way to go ahead and do Houlihan. And there's Ice Palace.
There's Ice Palace at the Desert Rock.
How many, so... We haven't seen any of T-Rock yet. I don't think.
Which is really interesting with 4 entrances.
I don't remember if we've checked all of the desert exits yet. I feel like we've seen, what, Desert Main and Desert Right? Maybe left?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure. I know JP went through a couple of them. I did not write them down. Well,
there is Ganon's Tower. That was another one we haven't found yet. While Sean finds a connector, the ferry drop-down to take him into the Dark World. I'm going to start checking stuff around here. Maybe a map check. Maybe.
Oh, there's Desert Right.
Well, there you go.
Okay. I wonder if JP didn't check that then.
I thought
or maybe he didn't have Moonbrow at the time. But...
did, because he was doing right side. Because he got the Desert Small and he was doing right side there, so... I think that's where Bombos was, I'm pretty sure. It was right side, desert.
It was, yeah.
Man, what happened to JP's hearts? Where are they?
It's not getting them.
Was the one
that
in...
one heart container in the Hera basement is the only one he's gotten.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and on blue mail,
I like
or on
this, though.
green
This is-
mail, running past crabs, you gotta be a little careful.
It's scary. This is an area that I generally try to hold off on coming to, because you need the glove to be able to check all 3 entrances, and I really don't care for only being able to check 2.
Yeah, it's a real pain. Ooh.
Yo, there's Paradox.
Go back.
I like this. Back out, just check the other one quickly, and then
Cool. Dodge the crab.
and then do the big one.
Also finding Eastern Palace and TR
Oh, hey,
front,
TR main.
so 2 dungeons over here. So we're just missing the
was
other 3
Paradox
parts of T-Rock and
Thieves.
Thieves Town. Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, it's not for both runners, of course, but to collectively know that the majority of the dungeons are at least available, 30 minutes in is, honestly, I think, kind of rare.
Yeah. It's not often you get to find all
And let's see,
those.
so that... the interesting thing is that they are... I mean, Desert has a Dark World entry point, but one of the other, like, main entries is Light World. So every dungeon that we've seen so far is accessible in the Light World. So what's in the Dark World for us?
Oh, we got a big key to Skull Woods
Oh,
and a small key for Gant. Wow, okay.
is that all 4 already?
That is 3
Like
plus
that?
the one on the pedestal.
3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all of them. Which, when
How
that
about
happens,
that?
I start to think, like, okay, well, what the hell's in GT? What's upstairs? What's in Double Firebar Room? What's in, because I
I
feel
like
like...
that connector JP just found.
Yeah, if only it was in the Dark World, though. Aw, money. Sean popping into Palace of Darkness, finding his lamp, which is good. He's been... I think earlier he was doing the Dark Cave that was over at Maze Race. I don't know if he actually got through it or not, but...
I'm not sure. I mean, the other Dark Cave, the one that's normally like the Death Mountain Descent, that you do after Hera and Energy, like that one is riddled with pits. So you're, with 0 indication of where you are, you're not getting through
Yeah,
that.
that one is really rough. Oh! Well, there you go.
Nice connector.
Just knocking out all these really kind of awful locations. It's pretty good. Okay, we got some
And we got
dungeon
regular
info.
crystals at Swamp and
Ice Palace. There's another T-Rock
more TR.
entrance. Okay, so we got 2 T-Rock entrances in both Light and Dark Ice Rock Cave. And an Eastern was over here in the Light World, so we got info, but what?
We got info.
What
And I
do you-
think
what do you do now?
if me personally, if I were JP right now, I would have actually done a bomb jump in that Turtle Rock entrance and used it to get over to the Laser Eye doorway. Just see what that is.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy bomb jump. You literally just line up on the wall and bomb yourself up, and then you hold left. It's the same thing if you bonk yourself. It's really easy. Now, the bomb jump to actually get you to the big chest is a little bit more particular, but
Yeah, because that's like a 2.5 tile gap, so it's a little bit longer than you can normally do.
and without the big key, you're not really gonna do that.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that.
I'm gonna get some fake flipper action while Sean is checking out more South Shore. We got the C-shape hut.
Not bad.
Let's see if
Free
we can
item.
get an item beyond this flipper locked. Okay, flipper locked mushroom. We haven't seen the witch's hut yet, I don't think.
No, and that's... do you save the mushroom and CrossKeys, the fake powder, or do you just turn it in and stumble upon the witch's hut when you find it?
It's a tough call because like if the witch's hut is some well with powder right there, then unfortunately we can't get it without the flippers. Ooh. Okay, Sean heading up towards Digging Game finds it. our first castle tower key off of Stumpy, and you know, he does have the Hyrule Castle small. He knows that he only needs that castle tower key just to get that second item. So once he actually gets a weapon, he can come back and get those two out of castle tower, so that's a nice find. I think in this case, you would just go ahead and turn in that mushroom when you get a chance.
I think it's generally safe, and especially seeing that the powder is at least available basically as soon as you get a bow. Or even, well, maybe not boots. I don't know if there's a place to really set up a water walk right now, but you're more likely to be able to get that powder than not. So I think it's safe to turn in.
Yeah. It looks like JP is probably going to go ahead and do that and head into Hyrule Castle again.
Castle. I don't think he's seen it yet. That was Sean that flippered over to it early.
Okay. The classic. Mimic Cave, no hammer. That's also a really annoying spot for it, too.
It really is.
That sucks. Oh, okay. Alright. Well, fortunately, he's got plenty of bombs, so he'll be able to get through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see all of Hyrule Castle. We've only seen the first chest in here so far, which I think just had a big 20. Maybe we'll finally find our first sword. So, DT, at this point, when you're 35 minutes in, what kind of things are you looking for now? What would you want if you were one of these two runners?
I think at this point, I've generally got most of... I mean, they've got, like, a bunch of Dark World access, too, which is really great and somewhat uncommon this early in, so, like, in most cases, like, I would have most of the Light World stuff mapped out right now. And then I would just be taking a look at any connectors that I might have abandoned through Kakariko or anything like that, or any of them that might have an item, like Spiral Cave or something, but I'm just looking for... I don't know, CrossKeys is always a balance of do I want items or locations, right? At this point, you need all of it, so you have to just kind of carefully consider every option you have and see if you should be going through any of your new entrances or trying to go through a dungeon that you might have ran right by or something. Like, in this case, JP, I think, is in a great position, having the castle small and being able to come through here with the main and the right entrances still unchecked. So, like, there's just a world of potential at this point for him.
That's the tough thing, is like trying to find that balance between like just checking literally every connector and entrance you can while versus like strategically skipping stuff. Because like, you know, you find Hyrule Castle and you check one entrance, you check maybe, you know, the one you came in and then the next one, and then you skip the third one in hopes you just stumble upon it later and you're like, okay, cool, that's where that was. No big deal.
I would rather check it, find that it's an obvious spot, than and just deal with that, like knowing, yeah, okay, I could have found it later. I would rather have the info sooner than to just stumble upon it later on.
I think it depends. Like if you had the boots already, it'd be a lot easier to... I mean, Hyrule Castle, it's really easy to check all three, but like Desert, that one's kind of a pain in the butt.
Desert's a pain. But then, of course, you try to be as efficient as you can, and then you, like, go out Castle Main and you're at Pyramid Fairy and then you're stuck, so... That's always one of my least favorite things, when you can't get back in to get to the last entrance.
If you have the boots, you can actually get back in Pyramid Fairy. You just have to do a dash turn.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, Sean found Hype Cave over at the Desert Fairy, got his Desert Small and Thieves Small.
He might not do this. The Desert entry is... part of Spectacle, and he's already seen the item from the top. So he might go through it then to check the other exit, which is going to be the same hilarity that JP had just a little bit ago.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's either that or you just save and quit. Uh-oh. JP not realizing that Ice Rod freezes rats. Now, what he could have done was froze one... Oh
my god.
That's a new one.
Oh, no.
How do you get that?
Oh, no.
What do you do?
You reset the super tile, I guess. It's still there. What? Why is it still there?
Wow,
Actually, no, this is all the same super tile. He's got to go back.
I have never seen that before, ever. I didn't know such a thing. I wonder if it's just because of because Icebox can kind of like hop out of off, kind of out of place, off screen a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So weird.
Yeah, there could have been some weird behavior with that.
Today I learned. I've been playing this game
It
for
should be fun,
4
man.
years now. I've never seen that before.
See, at this point, I would just freeze a different rat and then throw it at the key rat.
But which one's the real one?
You always have an idea of where the key rat is. It always
Not
spawns on the left.
Not anymore.
You don't know where it is now,
They're
but
all right there. Here's the problem though.
wasn't that one.
It wasn't that one.
He's
And
out of
now
bombs.
he doesn't have bombs for the back. Oh no.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm surprised he didn't just use the ice rod to freeze one of the other rats. But,
He would have gotten the key, but then he still wouldn't have had a bomb.
well, if he had done that before using his bomb.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
this is a good one, though. I like finding the top of bumper.
Even if it doesn't have anything, just writing that one off is real nice. Hey,
Yeah.
buy some
Oh,
bombs.
buy bombs.
That's perfect. All
There you
right.
go.
It's all coming back.
Yeah, that's on my list of entrances that I love to see earlier rather than later, just to write it off.
I feel like both of these players are in a position where they're not used to ice rod being like their main source of weaponry.
Yeah, I mean, it's inconsistent, because there's some enemies that'll outright kill, and then there's some that or most of them, it does just freeze.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, green guards it'll freeze, blue guards it'll kill, red guards it doesn't affect them, stuff like that.
It's different between the different types of blue guards up Aga Tower, too. Like, some of them have, like, the swords above their heads, and others are, like, the traditional ones. I forgot which one's which, but it freezes one of them and kills the other. Like, that's what I mean when I say it's inconsistent.
Yeah, I think it freezes the archers, but not the, like,
Oh,
regular
maybe that's what
blue
it is.
guards.
Yeah, there's, like, 3 different types of blue guards
It
in the
makes
tower.
no sense. This game is silly. Alright, Back of Escape Take 2. I'm wondering if we'll see this on Sean's side at some point as well. Because he only got the first chest and then bailed. But, it's a bit out of the way, so maybe holding out for...
Wait, did that...
It's
not-
because he's in the dark... He came from the dark
Yeah.
world, so now that's a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
Another one of the
wonder...
strange game mechanics.
Now the question is... Okay, this is fine.
That's fine.
Unless...
As long as it doesn't get blown into the wall again.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
That
jeez.
was like a pixel off. I was worried. Oh no! But then he's got the key though. He'll just walk back in. But oh, that's rough, JP. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucks. So, you'll see it sometimes if, like, you find GT or Thieves Town, or basically any Dark World dungeon in the Light World entrance, that all the pots in the ground are turned into, like, the Light World pots. It's kind of the same concept, where certain enemies get transformed into their Dark World versions. So, like, the snakes, or the little crickets or whatever in the Thieves Town attic, like, those will become rats if Thieves Town is in the Light World.
Rats are right now. So they'll do 2 full hearts of damage too.
Yes.
So like they because the interesting thing is, like, those crickets in the attic and the rats, if you notice, they actually have the exact same movement patterns. They're essentially the same enemy. One just deals more damage than the other.
It's funny because if you find Thieves Town in the Light World and you go up there, those crickets,
They squeak.
they're not chirping, they're squeaking. Okay, JP needs this to have something really valuable, otherwise he's gonna be like, this is a really easy moment. This feels like he's playing Enemizer all of a sudden. With some of those shenanigans. It looks like we're gonna see that on Sean's side too. Let's see how he handles it. $100. A heart container. 20 bucks.
Nothing, unfortunately. I do like the idea of checking the main entrance and then coming back in, because it just makes your mirror spot to check the right entrance a little bit closer.
Yeah, you just
It's
run
just
the risk
unfortunate
of...
that it wound up being Dark World this time.
Well, that was an adventure for
Yo, that bomb worked. Cool.
nothing? Did we get anything?
No. Nope. Castle was complete bait. Like, the top of bumper from Castle Main is actually really nice, because that's our North Dark World access right now.
Then that's gonna
So
open
I guess
up a lot of checks for
that's
us
a good consolation.
with that Moon Pearl.
But yeah, like, Checkerboard Cave, that's useless.
Time to find a whole bunch of other caves, item caves. We still haven't. We've seen Blind's Hut. We've seen Hype Cave, Paradox.
We've not seen Mini Moldorm.
We've seen Hookshot Cave. So yeah, we're just waiting for Mini Moldorm Cave. I think that's the last big one. We still, of course, have. I think we saw Myers Shut already, but we haven't seen Super Bunny.
We did. Correct. We haven't seen Spiral.
We've seen Spike Cave.
We saw Spike Cave. We saw Mimic Cave without a hammer.
Sean
going with the
utilizing
frozen
that.
guard
Yeah, I
throws.
love
I like
that. Oh, that's what was in
I
Zelda.
mean, it's-
Sell a single arrow, of course.
It is faster than throwing a pot, walking all the way back to
Yep.
grab another pot. Oh, there's the Witch's Hut. That's actually a really accessible Witch's Hut.
Yeah,
So if
now
we
you're
wanted
just
to turn in that mushroom,
probably wishing he had done that while
Actually-
he was over there.
it wouldn't be too bad to do right now, even. Just
Yeah.
mirror walk across the bridge. It's a little bit of time, but I mean, it's right there, so it's not awful.
I'm a little surprised he didn't turn it in before heading into Hyrule Castle. I feel like with... Where was Magic Bat, like, available already, or is that, like, at GT? Or, like, at the Ganon drop-down?
That might be at the Ganon drop down. I don't remember what was at the bat drop down. That might have been the fairy fountain, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, like if I know that if I've got all my drop downs scouted and I know that Magic Bat is like at GT, which is like the worst spot for anything,
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and ditch that mushroom.
yeah, I would turn into mushroom. I think that's totally safe then.
All right.
Oh,
Bomb and the
Sean going through the
rat.
same stuff right now.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Except the
Better
low-roll
luck
version.
that time. JP gonna go ahead and skip Skull Woods. Skull Woods is tough in CrossKeys, just because of the fact that sometimes the dungeon will lock you in the back. Oh yeah, okay, he's gonna go. He's going.
I mean, I think checking the fortune teller before heading up is fine.
I agree. It's not a bad call. Bacon, thanks for
And-
the raid. Appreciate it, bud.
Who knows? Knowing that you could get locked in there, Sean's already gone down to digging game and that stuff, so it's possible that Sean actually winds up checking Outcasts and then goes to Skull with the potential of getting locked and then being okay with it.
This is when you really want to find the mitts or the hammer, just so we don't have to go through Hyrule Castle to get back to West Dark World. See, with the mirror in hand at this, I would just leave right now. I would just go out that exit just to see if you get locked in the back or not. Since you're gonna mirror out anyway. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. This room is so bad.
It's not a nice room when you don't have... I mean, this is one of the rooms where Boomerang's actually great to stun the Gibdo. My concern now is that even if he gets the statue on the switch and walks up, there might be a Gibdo or Stalfos just waiting right there.
Yep.
Yeah, he can't do anything now.
I don't think these runners were anticipating a swordless seed for so long. Yeah, it's weird how sometimes the Gibdos will just body block you in the next room. Sometimes they won't. I mean, the nice thing is
Yeah, I'm not...
JP was keeping one of the berries alive so that the Wallmaster never dropped.
Mhm.
But now,
I'm not totally sure what manipulates the Gibdo in the room above, but I know that there's a way to do it. I think it can still follow your movement because it's still the same super tile.
Mhm.
I'm just not entirely sure how.
Small key to Tower of Hera. We could do that.
Hey, we could check that.
Is it common to be hammerless for this long in a swordless seed? What? This is CrossKeys. This isn't swordless. Got you.
Alright, so
Not locked in the back.
maybe,
No.
unless this is a vanilla drop down. Well, no, we're not locked in the back anyway. We can just
Yeah.
walk back out, but... Why'd you say we were locked in the back? You confused me.
I didn't say we're locked. I said we're not locked in the back. Oh, but
No,
this was vanilla. So
it is vanilla. How about that?
that's a good scenario because then you can go ahead and walk to down to Village of Outcasts and check that stuff. I don't really agree with dropping down any of these, because now JP is going to end up using
I wouldn't
both.
either.
Well, because now JP is going to use both of his keys. So he's not going to have a key unless he goes and does the drop down again to try and find the left drop down to save that key.
It's not a bad idea. Does JP... Yeah, JP has this big key as well. I don't know if Sean wound up finding it, but... Yeah, he's going to try to find another drop down just to preserve that key. I think that's what you do here.
Pretty recently. I don't remember where, though. Nope.
Okay, we know which one it is now. Surprised he's not checking the big chest right now, though. Like, while you're up at that drop down. He's just going to go for the bomb jump.
That looks good,
Kind
I
of tough
think.
to set up without a sword to buffer
Yeah.
it, but yeah, no, that was fine.
All right.
I don't know. I absolutely love the Dragonite sprite. I tried using it a couple of times, and I could not get bomb jumps for the life of me because I rely on the shadow,
And
and the
he kinda-
Dragonite sprite is just so big that you can't really see the shadow easily.
Kind of covers it a little bit. Alright, there we go. We found it. The problem here, though, is that... Well, no, he can go back through Pinball Room and not spend the key, so...
Yeah, it's a little bit of a walk, but
Yeah.
that's what you gotta do in this case, I guess.
Are we going to find our first sword? That's what I want to know. Is it going to happen soon? Oh,
How about
well...
minutes? But what does that do for us right this moment?
Ugh, Mirrorless Smith? Duh.
That might be about it, actually. I don't think it gets us any of the other portals just yet.
The dream. Well, the nice thing is we will get more convenient Dark World access. Back to the West Dark World.
That's
We don't have
for
to go
sure.
through that. There's Mini Moldern Cave in Thieves Town.
Nice. So JP will be getting that in a moment as well.
Just got... it's fine. He has the mitts. It's okay. Also,
That's
Sean learning that sometimes bombs explode but do nothing.
This game has weird elevation stuff.
Yeah,
just
it
the height
really
of things.
does. Like, sometimes you'll throw a bomb and its hitbox is nowhere near where the explosion is. Ice Palace small.
Like when you're doing like a low percent vitreous without any... Oh, now we can just... No, we can't beat Hera, but we could go upstairs.
Gross.
But like
Well-
vitreous, when you don't have a bow, like the way that the big eyeball bounces around, like it isn't intuitive. And you can get hit when you're thinking that you should be totally fine.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense often.
And they're super funny.
See, now Sean's probably going to skip out on this because he doesn't have an easy way to get back here and he doesn't want to isolate that. But at this point, I think he just has the bombable hut. Because he already did the south side, the south route.
Right. So bombable and then Skull Woods would be what Sean has. Even on the assumption that he had done... That's a good bomb refill, actually. 4
Yeah.
bombs in here.
He was also completely
He's just
out
got to
of
be
bombs,
careful. He's got to be careful to not get hit by any of these rats. They will do the 2 hearts being a Dark World location right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's...
Yep, just like that.
I was about to say, I don't think he has that blue mail yet. Well, this is...
No, and unfortunately, not being up to Skull yet, it's going to be a bit of a walk back for him.
Yeah, and we'll see if he goes there right away or not. Looks like he's heading straight back that way, looks like, yeah. Maybe he'll
Does seem
turn
like it.
in... Oh, he never got the mushroom. That was JP.
Mm-hmm. That was... Oh gosh, where was that? It was a silly spot, wasn't it?
I think so.
Somewhere with the fake flip ring? Yeah. It was at whatever entrance is in the waterfall that had the mushroom in it. Because we saw powder like right after.
Oh, it was the waterfall. The C shape in the waterfall.
Oh, look at that beatable back of desert with bombs and ice rod.
Well, Ice Rod's fine, but no magic.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be too bad.
Ooh.
He's got a green potion too if he really wanted to, but... so that was back of desert at C-shaped house. So yeah, Thieves Town really the only dungeon that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we still
And
don't even
half of TR is still missing.
still don't even know if it's required or not yet. Here's what's unfortunate is that Sean's gonna come down here to do Super Bunny and not do Skull Woods, so he's gonna end up missing out on that mitts for a little bit longer. He's gonna come back and get his revenge on those rats.
I mean, yeah, revenge aside, like this is probably the only reliable bomb refill that we've seen in a while, and it's right in the area that he's at. So
Yeah, we need to find Graveyard Ledge. That'd be a good one,
we
too.
did.
Oh, we
I
did?
think we did see that.
Okay.
It's not in this area though. I don't remember where it was.
I don't either.
Oh, look at this. Sean's gonna go for it.
He's got 8 bombs and a couple Ice Rod shots. We did pick up a green potion, I think.
Yes, we did. Top of bumper had one.
So this is very
The
doable.
problem is this room right here.
Nah,
It's gonna eat up a lot of your resources.
it's okay.
Freezing a Popo and throwing it would be,
Would be the better choice.
yeah. Because yeah, now I'm not sure about this Landmo fight. I mean, he's got the green potion, but Ice Rod is a little bit slow. So
With the green potion, it'll be fine.
yeah, there's a little bit of magic in these pots. The Ice Rod is going to do. It's going to take 2 hits per land mola. Bombs themselves would do tempered damage, which would be 4 hits. There is a small magic in one of these pots. Hopefully he goes in and grabs it.
Yeah, top right one, I think.
And I always get the magic and the arrows confused. Yeah, top right.
I always remember because
I
it's
just know the bottom 2
inconvenient.
are hearts.
Because I usually always go for the magic, and it's like, it's in the top right one. I didn't need these arrows. Well, that worked. He missed one of them, but it sailed right through him and hit the other one. So
Yeah, gotta use that green potion though. But that's fine. I mean, you gotta use it, right?
yeah. So right now, JP is in a pretty good spot just because of getting those mitts. You know, it's still very early. We're still looking for a lot of items and quite a few places left, including a couple dungeons. Oh man, was wondering if Sean was going to find something really good off of these land molas, but we did find a crystal that we already knew about. That was one of the Pyramid Fairy crystals. That was actually the map that we got very, very early in the game. So I don't remember where the Smith was, but I'm assuming we're going on a bit of a hike.
Smith was at Light World Hype Cave.
Okay, a little bit.
So-
A wee hike.
We gotta go all the way down there and then all the way back for Purple Chest.
Okay, here we
And
go.
then all the way back to turn it in.
Okay, never mind. I thought Sean was heading to Skull. But he was like, psych. Oh, nope. He just wanted to avoid
just
that.
avoiding the red guard, I guess?
Wanted to avoid the red guard, I guess. Oh! Oh! That's nuts. So, JP found the rescue cave. He hasn't saved the old man. So it despawned the Smith, because you can't have 2.
Because the old man was in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
I would, yeah, he's gonna go back and
highly
get it, but
unfortunate.
that's you don't see that very often. That's not a thing
No.
that happens very often. So, pretty interesting.
That's one of the oddities, I guess. I wonder if he'll just save and quit at this point, start from Link's house. I think that might be a little bit better.
I think he still wanted to check out like.
Oh, he's got Dark World entrance. That's right. Sean's been through this area. JP hasn't.
So right now we could do a little bit of ice. No, we can't. We don't have a sword. Never mind. We can do a little bit of Hera. We can do the basement and the 2 upstairs.
Oh, we can do most of Hera. It's not even
Most
a
of
little bit.
Hera.
We can do almost all of it.
Well, a little bit of Hera because there's not much Hera left at this point. There's just what, 4 checks?
And we can do 3 of them.
Most of Hera, whatever. God, jeez.
I mean, honestly, like, the more of the overworld that we're seeing, and with Mitts not really being anything more than a shortcut for us right at this moment, I would personally be heading back there fairly soon.
Yeah, I agree. It's because, I mean, like, you got to look at these items that you're getting. You got to think to yourself, especially when you're kind of narrowing down on your options, like, I got this for a reason, right? It's not just because I eventually need it in case here is a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
called
it's not an
reading the
ideal play.
scene. I don't know.
It's not something you want to do, because no, we don't have sword, we don't have hammer. They've already been there. You don't want to end up triple dipping the Tower of Hera.
Hey,
Especially because the location for it wasn't the most friendly to get. I mean, it's not hard to get to, but it's kind of a walk.
Mm. It'd be one thing if we had hookshot and you could just Herapod up. That'd be pretty quick to check those two spots.
Maybe hookshot's upstairs.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't play the scene
I
yet.
either.
Whoa!
Hey, the boots.
1 hour boots.
You know what? I would take it.
I mean,
That's
I wouldn't.
fine.
I wouldn't say no.
So now the mitts actually do unlock something. We could get into Graveyard Ledge. Or, King's Tomb. That one. It's in the graveyard. We got
What else does it do for
Bonk
us?
Rocks, we got Link Bonk Rocks, we got Dark Link Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, that opened up like 4 entrances now. I don't think... Oh. Okay, Hylia and then JP will go back and check the other ones. This is the desert right entrance, I believe.
This is Desert Right.
Yeah. Which, you know, you could go check the big chest and then mirror. I think the big chest had something in it. I think it was a small key.
There was a small key there. It was either TR or GT. JP has it though already.
Oh, he has the big chest?
Yeah, the compass said 4 out of 6. He obviously didn't get the torch or Landmo yet.
Ah, okay. So, mitts leading to boots, boots leading to nothing
Nothing
so far.
for that one.
So right now, we need something like... Well, obviously we need a sword. Sword would be nice. Hammer would be great, because then you'd have just easy Dark World access in multiple locations, you know. You can go to the pod area, no problem. You can... Yeah, because we don't actually have access to Dark Side. To East Dark Side.
No, we don't. So that's where... okay, so JP's gonna go through Desert, I guess. That makes sense. Because I was thinking, like, Route North Dark World, even though we've already been there, but Route North Dark World for Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, and then Kern Jump, so that we can at least see what's on the other side of the river.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Because, yeah, I mean, that's the one other possibility of Aga Tower is, like, at this moment, we don't have access to Pyramid or Pod, Dark Witch, or Catfish. Like, and that... One more Castle Tower key and a sword would put that in logic.
Mm-hmm. Or a hammer. Or a flipper. Oh! Meyer Small. What?
Oh, you know what?
Arrows.
Boots unlock Meyer.
Ew. Oh. Barf. That's horrible.
It's not awful. Honestly, it's not awful. That would be 6 items right now. Actually, I'll take that back. Getting through Meyer 2 would be a pain.
Yeah. I would not want to do that.
No, we don't have the magic for it. That's not a room I would want to use bombs in. And as we know, half the enemies there are popos, and the ice rod is just gonna freeze them anyway.
I mean, I guess you could go in there, freeze one, and just throw it at every single other enemy in there, but boy, that sounds horrible.
Honestly, wouldn't be bad.
That sounds so bad. Well, this is good news. JP getting his boots at an hour in, Sean only a few minutes after him, so...
Yeah,
I was really worried he'd miss out on
all,
something in Skull Woods, but...
Our check-in, it's relatively even. There's not really much of an advantage for either runner at this point. They've both got mitts, Moon Pearl, boots. Sean is up a crystal at this point, but
Yep.
JP knows exactly where that is.
We also did just get info that Hera will be a crystal as well. Believe we saw that.
Here's what I think.
What do you think?
They, since they both have the Hera small and the Hera big, and they know that it's probably an inevitable thing. Like, even if I were in this situation, Hera would probably be a last location for me.
It's such a tough
Like,
call.
it's when we're watching it, it seems like, yeah, that's the best of what's left, I think. But when you're playing it,
Ugh.
you don't want to climb the tower to not have a sword or hammer.
But what if the hammer's up there? What if the
I
sword's up
know.
there?
And what if one of the 4 swords? What if 2 of the 4 swords are up there?
Ooh, big key at Bonk
library for
Rocks.
Sean with the big key.
What do we got? Big key 2. Nice. Okay.
Dungeon we haven't seen. Nice.
Yep. Just a hammer away from full clearing it. That's kind of funny. I'm assuming when JP found the other side of, or the old man rescue cave, it probably reminded him, oh yeah, I never did that. Let's go back and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, nothing at Kingstone, so that is all of our bonk checks, and it got us a potentially required big key. That's about it. You know what's something we haven't seen that we could do? Got that eastern dip. That's all the way over in Ice Rock Cave area.
That's true. JP didn't do that. Has Sean even been over there?
I don't think so. I think we've only seen that on JP's side. So
I
right
think
now
you're right.
we have a lot of dungeons that we could dip and can't get anything out of it. And Black Sarah makes a good point. We got the first chest to Hookshot Cave. That could be something good.
It's a thing. Hookshot Cave is not super free to get to.
Was it? I remember commenting on its
Well, actually, there's
location because I feel like it was super out of the way.
There's only one entrance for it that we could get to. Eastern is the top of it. Laser Bridge is the other one, which you can't drop down to. So.
We're getting something exciting on Sean's side. He's setting up for a water walk in Skull Woods to head on over to the east Dark World.
I like this.
I do too.
I assume he's going to take it over to Shopping Mall, and then that's going to be 6 entrances for him to check. Because he'll be able to mirror and do the Ice Rod Cave stuff then, and maybe we'll actually see what's in Eastern, too.
Ooh, I don't know if that
Bonk.
bonk... I think... Okay, it's fine.
Nope, it's still good.
You can bonk...
He's just going to go...
as long as you don't bonk while you're in Water Walk, you're fine. If you bonk
Yeah, 'cause
before
that
you
would
set
be
up you're actually in Water Walk, then no problem.
Yeah, I actually, thinking of it now, I prefer this, what Sean's doing, over going straight to Shopping Mall. Because, I mean, he's going to have 2 choices. Like, after Catfish, he can either still go to Pyramid. And actually, top of Agate Tower is a really appealing, or top of the castle is like a really appealing thing, too, to check those 2 entrances, because we actually can't check the middle one right now.
Yeah, we need to find a cape or 2 swords.
Mm-hmm. But he could still fake Flipper after Catfish to get over to Shopping Mall if he wants to anyway.
It's just a little bit scarier to get to Dark Ice Rock Cave with a fake Flipper versus a Water Walk. Those green bombers can really knock you around.
Oh,
Those things are awful.
Honestly, I think I dislike them more than any other enemy in the game. They're just always in your way.
They're up there with Dead Rocks and Mini Moldorms. Those 3 are all in the same. They hang out after class. They're having a big party. Pissing me off. Alright, well, we are heading to the pyramid. Which, we are not heading to the pyramid. So for this,
nope,
Sean,
nope.
I would just bonk on the tree on the right side. There you go. Whoop. Yeah.
Almost.
Watch
There.
out for the bees. And then you hop in the water just holding up, and then as soon as you're airborne, you hold diagonal.
Yeah, I've noticed that one's weird. Like, you can't just hold the left or the right like you can with other fake Flipper setups.
Yeah, you have to hold it diagonally while you're airborne, otherwise it doesn't work. Oh, that's where Great
Oh, yeah, there's
Ledge
Great
was.
Ledge.
Okay. We did see this on Sean's side already. All right, Green Bombers are going to be nice today.
That's good. They're out of his way. Actually, we've seen Shopping Mall too, because JP got spat out here from one of his other connectors.
Yeah.
So this isn't anything new in terms of what's here, but we might at least get to see the Eastern Dip.
We did find it was a T-Rock Big Chest was right here. Ooh, Sick Kid? Just some bombs. Sean did find Sick Kid earlier, but did not have a bottle, so he's gonna be fine. Oh yeah, Paradox Kid.
Oh, he's
that
gonna
was
be
the,
happy with Paradox right here
that was
too.
the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you've got Paradox Upper taking you here, and then Paradox Mid taking you to Ice Rat Cave.
Mm-hmm. And then he'll find... We might actually see that Eastern Dip on Sean's side then. But yeah, we're at a really weird crossroads right now for these players. I feel like it is starting to finally come down to just... You gotta just commit to one of the dungeons you can't beat. And go from there.
I think I just saw Eastern was Crystal. That was a very quick map check from JP.
Yeah, it looked like it. I think he checked twice. So... We still need to know about 2 more pendants, right? We just have green pendant pods, so our last pendants are either going to be
green, yeah.
Skullwoods or Thieves, Mire or T-Rock. Any 2 of those 4. I think if you're in this situation, do you go for a density check then? Like, which of all the dungeons that you could check that you can't actually beat, which one are you going to get the most items out of?
Eastern for sure. You're gonna get, well, only 4 items there, I guess, but compared to 3 out of Hera, I mean, I guess it depends on which one you're next to.
Yeah.
Like for Sean, who is going to find Eastern in the next few moments, like, yeah, I think you absolutely need to go through it at this point. I don't know. I'm one of those people though that if I find Eastern like in the first 5 minutes, even like down near race game or library or something, I'll go through it.
Yeah.
I like it because early game, like, yeah, you can map some stuff up, but early game you really need items to be able to have things accessible to you. So I like just going right through it.
I feel like just because of the location of Eastern, I would have been okay checking it right then and there. Just because getting back to Ice Rock Cave is terrible. And
Yeah,
especially
it's
Dark
not
Ice Rock
great
Cave.
in this one.
But yeah, that's another... I guess that bonk is not in logic, so getting to the middle of TR is not a logical
No,
option
it wouldn't
right
be
now.
in logic. Because you'd be clipping through a rail at that point.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like I would probably go for Mire then, just because aside from the Thieves Town Big that might not even be required, we haven't really gotten to use the boots to open up anything, and that seems to be like the line of progression.
Possibly. I mean, if there's nothing here, then I would say definitely, but
Yeah.
like this has been open to us since we got that first glove, and that first glove was just locked behind a bomb, which I don't even think is counted as part of a sphere, so...
No, that would be
I don't
that
know.
would still be Sphere 1. But yeah, I'm one of those idiots that like to assume that if you're looking for a particular item, the best play, there's a higher chance of it being in a place that you need that item to get into that dungeon, or an alternative, which is why I'd be going to Mire, even though that opening Mire 2 sucks so much, without any real
honestly,
weapons. But I'd be like anticipating a hook shot, and then, but what would that would give us hookshot cave? That's it.
That's probably one of the most interesting things about this seed right now. Like, usually you'll have a boomerang, or maybe I guess it doesn't matter which one. Usually at this point, better weapon than the ice rod.
Usually,
Like, that's such a huge barrier.
A sword by now. Nope. Well, hey, if that's a gold bee, we can use that in Mire 2. It's not bad.
Gosh. That would... I don't disagree with that.
We could also go back and get Purple Chest. I don't think we've seen that.
I actually thought that JP was going to grab it when he was running down just now. Because he did just dash right by it.
Oh, yeah, he did.
But I think he's heading over to Eastern now as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this feels so horrible, this walk to Eastern. And by walk, I mean run. This is when you're just like, please give me the flute. Please. Let me go fast. Flute would open up quite a bit right
Yeah.
now.
Last check coming up for Sean, though.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been anything here.
Is his lamp going to play a part? Give us something good? Nope.
Nope. Wow, so Hera or Meyer is... Meyer's 6 items that we can get. Hera 3. They're both on the mountain. Honestly,
Yeah. Just save and quit.
the old
go.
man save and quit.
Mm-hmm. We'll
Because
grab the full magic.
the old man
nice.
save and quit's gonna put us like right next to where Meyer is.
I would maybe, at this point, go ahead and check middle of T-Rock. Ice Rod doesn't freeze pokies, so that might be... I might skip... Actually, I don't know. I don't know, DT.
I don't even know if it does damage. No, because Fire Rod one-shots them. No, like Ice Rod takes several hits to kill them.
Yeah, well, it's like hitting him with a fighter sword. It's going to take one of the butts away until you get to the bottom one.
Yeah, that's not ideal. And we only have the 1 tier small. Otherwise, like, it actually wouldn't be awful to just ignore the Poke Key, open the door, and go for the lava chest.
We have 3 TR smalls. They both do.
Do we? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm misreading the track. Okay, then yeah, absolutely skip the Poke Key and just go right for lava chest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because at worst, I mean, we've seen the front. We haven't seen Laser Bridge. So at worst case scenario, you have to, use a key to get to Laser Bridge, but that would still leave you with
Right.
one extra one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that would
you'd
be fine.
Okay. Well, looks like we're gonna head back to the pyramid then. In this situation, I would just...
Yeah.
I tend to use, for certain ones, I'll use a bomb to just kind of boost myself up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Or the screen transition, just so I can get that line up a little bit easier. I usually do that if I have a stored water walk and I'm trying not to blow it. But
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just checking some out-of-logic things, and going back to what you said about, like, checking the middle of TR and even the laser-eyed door, to me, this stuff is more appealing right now than even going back for what's in logic between Hera or Meyer.
yeah, because there's a chance you could find something that, you could sequence break and find something that'll make some of those checks a little bit more convenient. Like a hammer. At the pyramid.
Like a hammer.
Holy moly. Okay.
So how are we supposed to get this hammer?
Castle Tower key somewhere maybe? Or the thing is, I don't know if, I haven't been keeping track about how many connectors we still have out there somewhere. But
There's a couple, I think.
that's a huge find for Sean right now.
Another thing that feels bad, like going to shopping mall without a glove or ice rod area without a glove, is being here without cape or 2 swords.
Mm-hmm. And then finding junk in both, or coming here and finding like 3 dead caves. And you're like, cool.
What's JP doing? Is he gonna go to Hera? He is. There's Spiral Cave, so, I mean, here's a connector. And an item.
Yeah, this is the time to take Spiral Cave, because now you can just get to Flute 5 normally. Did we get that key yet? Ice Palace Big. I don't think we've seen that, did we?
Where? Oh, top of Spiral. No, I guess, no, we haven't had that.
No.
That's a new one.
That's a new one. Alright, well. Hammer, out of logic. We'll let Sean beat all of Tower of Hera. So now the question is, will JP find a sword up here? Because that's the only thing that's going to hurt Moldor.
Okay, he knows what to do here. Because he can't actually kill those beetles right now. The bombs just stun them. So you gotta drop down, it respawns the pots, you can kill the 3rd one that way. I don't think this is in logic, but I'll admit, I just don't know.
It is.
That's a
pretty
good
sure it
connector
is.
for Sean.
Well, yeah, he's going to get his Ice Palace Big now. I was just about to ask, where's that T-Rock connector? We haven't seen that yet. So wait, Spiral Cave led to T-Rock connector, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, the Was it right or was it the? I don't know. Any connector that goes there, I just call TR
Oh.
ledge. Like I don't even give it a left or right.
JP finds
nice
a
fire rod.
fire rod. So now we can go into Ice Palace. Ugh.
And that's in logic.
That is in logic. We could also check the back of Skull Woods.
That's gonna feel real bad. I mean, knowing that we have the hammer, even though it's out of logic, that's gonna feel real bad if JP winds up heading there. Oh yeah, Sean's on Laser Bridge. Hey, we found Laser Bridge.
Finally.
I was not paying attention. Where was that?
I think
Was
it's
this
still.
a Mimic Cave?
I think, yeah, I would assume it's Mimic Cave then. So in that case, that's disgusting because you have to come from the top of the castle. So now the question still is, it almost seems like this is going to turn into required logical aga just to get to East Dark World, or we just find flippers in one of the, in Mire or Hera basement. But that was a pendant at Thieves' Town.
As a pendant.
Yep.
That's what it looked like.
So now we need to find one more pendant. It's either going to be at Skull, Mire, or T-Rock, and JP gets a sword here. He can go beat Skull Woods. All right, what are we getting? Small key to Mire. Not very exciting.
No, it's not.
So, right now, it's still early to say, but Sean is in a bit of a better position. Just going to be able to save some time here in Tower of Hera. And just save time overall, because now we have like super convenient, far more convenient Dark World access than having to go through connectors and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean, not only more convenient Dark World access, but like the ability to clear the dungeon that he's in right now. So yeah, that sequence break for Sean absolutely paying off. Like Hammer is, like it almost doesn't matter how you find Hammer. Hammer is really, really great to have. We'll figure out how it's in logic later. Right now, it doesn't matter for Sean. And this is what I was worried about for JP, seeing this play.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. It's where the logic is pointing for him for sure.
yeah, the Fire Rod, I would assume, would send him here over anything else. And we're probably just going to find the flippers in here or something. Or a sword in a castle tower key.
I don't know.
But yeah, there's another dungeon that Sean's going to be able to one-shot. Nice bomb setup.
Very nice double bomb setup.
I tried to do that setup the other day, and I don't know what I'm doing. Because it didn't look like that. So, clearly I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, no Samarius, no Icebreaker. So now the question is, what are we going to find on Moldorm? And do you think Sean will head straight to Ice Palace after this as well? With that Fire Rod in hand?
You know what? That would actually be a fine idea, because, again, that's another crystal he'll be able to beat. And with the big key, like, you can get everything.
Yeah, JP does know how to do the water walk or the current jump to get over to East Dark World. But, sometimes, like, at this point, this far in, it's hard to make... I feel like it's harder to make a play like that. Just because... I don't know. You want to stay in logic to a degree? But at the same time, how are you going to predict that a hammer's going to be on the pyramid? I did a retrance ladder race the other night, and my opponent did the current jump fake flipper to Dark Ice Rock Cave and found the hammer, like probably an hour before I did. So,
oh dang,
you never know. And just a compass.
Compass, cool.
But a crystal.
Fancy.
That's good.
And I think that crystal is exactly why. Like if I were in Sean's position right now, I would go to Ice Palace. Like.
Yeah, because he knows it's a crystal.
That's our goal, right? Crystals. So yeah. Like that's one of those things where you'll probably get some people that would be hesitant on it because they don't have Samaria, and of course Samaria makes it faster when you're full clearing. But after there comes a time where you just gotta kind of deal with that and accept that, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna go check this. It is what it is.
Well, it's kind of also just part of the metagame of like, well, you know, my opponent's probably going to put off ice until they find Samaria, so I'm going to go do it and find Samaria there. This is a new check for us. We haven't seen this at all. Just a blue rupee from the first chest, and we'll see what is in the dark room. JP heading to Ice Tea, not finding anything but a Ice Palace Small in here so far, I believe. Yeah, here's the other thing is like, you know, JP setting up for a few more double dips while Sean has gotten 2 of his crystals already. But like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we still need to go to Meyer, maybe. Ice Palace. Ooh. Hey!
Interesting.
Well, now he can do right side GT.
That's interesting.
Or front of T-Rock.
If he wanted to, he could have gone back in for the big key chest here, too.
True. That's gross, though.
I mean, that would have been completely out of logic, but...
Yeah, I think you go to
That's interesting.
I think you go to GT here, or
Yeah, that's...
or the T-Rock
looks like what
stuff.
he's doing, too.
Because that's 3 items in the front of T-Rock.
Or he's not going to go to GT. That was that mini Maldon cave. He's just going to run right by. So he's got TR on his mind. Which, also fine. Makes perfect sense, but... I think I would have at least popped into GT, done right side, and then gone over here for TR main.
Now the question is, like, how deep is this flipper, or these flippers? Because... Gross.
I mean, like you said, Meyer. I mean... No, they could be here. Because JP stayed in Logic to get the Fire Rod and Cane. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this also will get us to... It logically opens up the middle chest as well. The lava chest and chomps.
I really like that 2-bomb setup.
Yeah, as JP finds an item, Sean is right behind him, gonna get the item and then some, and beating the dungeon, so... Sean is gonna end up saving
that hammer just
so much
proving
time.
absolutely huge.
It was funny, because earlier today, when I was doing my swordless ladder seed, that was absolutely atrocious. Someone was asking me about, you know, why sequence break, or, you know, they were asking me about logic and stuff, but sequence breaks... They're a risk, always, because, you know, you could find an item that ends up being not required, and then following that as it leads you down to nothing. Or you get a situation like this, where you...
Right, where you find something that seems to be cutting out a bunch of unnecessary stuff.
Big time saves.
Like, how long has he had the hammer now? In terms of time, like, it's got to be close to 15-20 minutes, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And we're not any closer to figuring out how the hammer's actually in Logic.
It's probably just going to be flippers and Meyer at this point. That'd be my guess.
That would be easiest.
It'd be different if we had at least one sword, but we don't. Also, okay, JP did get the other the first castle tower. I think he was trying to remember how to get to Paradox Cave, or he was trying to remember how to get to Dark Eyes Red Cave. You might go
do Paradox.
The middle section of TR for those 2 items, and then, you know, with that Samaria,
actually,
if Laser Eyes just kicks you out at pod area, that could be your logical access.
It could be. Or somewhere totally new, like the Meyer area. Like,
yeah.
Either way, though, checking that laser doorway is actually in Logic for us now. I think what he's doing is right there. You go get these couple of items and then mirror and then go check that doorway.
Well, we are going to get 2 more items here in Ice Palace right now, and then on Cold Stare. Let's see if we find some more progression. We're still trying to figure out our last pendant dungeon. And we still need a few more items. We're still looking for Thieves Town.
I love that Dratini bunny. It's so cute.
Good.
Small key useless. Okay, so JP...
Cape.
Hold on a second. This is a good news, weird news situation. JP didn't miss anything out of ice, at least at this point. Like that small key to skulls, whatever. And then the weird news is finding that cape. So now a sword that puts. Well, we still need the other tower key though.
Yeah, the cape doesn't actually do really anything other than
It's
put.
a step.
It's when he eventually gets to checking the top of the castle, he can check castle tower entrance now.
Right.
Which could
and
be
that's,
something.
That's something that Sean was not able to.
All right, is this the pod area? No, it's
Oh,
the back
no.
of Skullwoods.
That's not what you want to see right now.
Well, okay. Well, now I guess you just freaking kern jump then, since you're over here. That's what I.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, all right, fine. You want me to go do that? I'll go do that.
And there's that Kano Samario for Sean.
First chest in Hookshot. Where was Hookshot Cave again?
Eastern.
Oh god.
Eastern is the only entrance that we can get to, because the other one was locked, basically.
That's so gross.
Laser Bridge.
Well, now you can kern jump and then just go to the pod area and mirror. And then check that. Yeah, that's what it looks like JP's
who knows?
doing.
Maybe in the pod area too, we find another connector anyway that we might have otherwise seen
Oh, that's so
as
unfortunate.
logical access to it. Oh, Sean got hit by one of the Freezors.
Yeah. His shots were going sideways a couple times. I think JP's was
JP
a
looks to be
couple pixels too
pixels
high.
away.
Yeah. Or not.
Oh, I guess it's lenient. Cool, I learned.
The hell? That looked so weird.
I
It looked like the bomb blew up early, too. Earlier than usual.
It did. But that's good to know that the Y coordinate there is lenient like that.
See, that's weird. I didn't know that. I guess Sean's just... Yeah, he's got a dilemma now, because that's 2 items he's leaving behind, and that's risky when you're missing so much stuff. So...
I would almost think just beat the dungeon and then just come back in and icebreaker. It's not too bad that way to get back to those items.
Yeah, I don't know, that's a...
Although, Sean has another problem. This is not swordless, which means he cannot use bombos. I don't think he has any magic restorative potions right now.
True. Did he hit the switch?
I'm not sure.
He bought a green potion? Okay.
He bought a green? Okay.
Lax is saying he bought a green.
Then that alleviates one concern.
Does a healthy tolerance range from the jump just need to get enough boost? Interesting. Okay.
And then this bomb jump is actually the most free bomb jump in the game. Just stand in that corner. That's it.
I don't know, the Skullwoods one's pretty good. That one's pretty easy too, right? The one in the back of Skullwoods to get to the boss.
Oh, yeah. 'cause you
Line
just
up
line
along
her
the
up
north
at that top
wall.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple instances like that in the game.
Alright, well this is a... Really, don't dash into the big chomper. Scary. Go get the fairy. Grab the fairy, please. Okay, fine. Oh, okay, he's gonna use one of that key that he just got out of the chest. Well, I guess he had a spare key, but he's gonna get a little bit of magic here. So yeah, after dipping Hera and dipping ice, then you find the hammer. That always feels real bad.
trying to stay in logic though, like going through Eastern and Hera, like we were speculating that was going to be what was necessary for a while too. So, I mean, honestly, what are the odds of any one item being in a spot? So that hammer being there was just really good coincidence for Sean when he got it.
Yeah. It's crazy that for how much extra JP did to stay in logic, and he still did find his logical access over to there. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. He gets the initial hammer. That's really good. Gonna go ahead and drink that
he was
green.
able to get the full magic meter before even dropping down.
Oh, okay.
That vanilla small was real nice. And unfortunately, there's nothing at the Aga Tower entrance that's going to give JP an advantage.
And fortunately for JP, there was nothing else in Ice Palace, so he's not gonna be hurting by skipping that stuff. Aside from just having to...
And
what?
Unfortunately for us, we're still not going to get to see the pod area.
It's okay. They're both heading there right now after this. Maybe. JP is going to get his Ice Palace big, though. Or, no, he already got it. Never mind, sorry.
You got that.
But he's going to get to the T-Rock connector area, which is where we found Laser Bridge. But he's going to have Cane of Samaria this time, so he can actually go backwards to check the Crystal Roller Room, which we didn't see before. So that's exciting. But yeah, now we have some interesting scenarios here. We can do all of right side GT to Ice Armos, and we can sequence break left side without the hook shot. Well, remember, the double Firebar Room is in logic with just boots, but everything else over there is all hookshot locked. But we got to be coming up on some goodies here soon. As of right now, we haven't found Thieves Town. That's it. I think that's the only dungeon we haven't seen yet. We've seen literally everything else. We don't know if Eastern is a... No, Eastern is a crystal, so we do need a bow. We do need our hookshot and flippers for Swamp. And I think we just need a couple big keys. And we need to know where that last pendant is.
That's
okay.
That's a good one.
That is an interesting find.
That's
gonna
I mean,
be...
who knows how long it'll take for Sean to get to that, but that is exactly what JP needed right now.
So it depends where that T-Rock big key ends up being. If that T-Rock big key ends up being here in GT and available, then it's not going to be as bad, but at the same time... Well, no, because if you find the big key, you just go ahead and beat Trinex. And then clear out the rest of the dungeon. But yeah, if TR big key is like, you know, I don't know, the other parts of Hookshot Cave, that hooked lock somewhere where you can't get to it. That's Eastern.
Eastern. I was expecting that to say TR.
A sword!
Hey, first sword, there it is.
An hour 36. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so then getting Fire Rod out of Hera for Samaria out of Ice Palace puts that sword in logic then. Which, actually, the cape was in logic too, wherever JP got that, so... You see where I'm going with this. That tower, another tower small is seeming more likely that that's how we get to East Dark World.
Castle tower
Because what Sean's doing is not in logic right now either.
No, because that hammer's out of logic.
It's actually kind of fun to try and figure this out when I'm not the one playing it. When I'm playing, I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna keep moving, but...
Yeah. That's kind of the fun part about CrossKeys, is when you actually are in a situation to think about... Okay, that's the Meyer big, about key logic, compared to, like, playing, like, retro CrossKeys where it doesn't matter. So you can get some really nutty... Oh, there's our Swamp Small. Okay. Hookshot locked Swamp Small. So... We just need, what, a bow, flippers, and the T-Rock big to be in go mode. Regardless of what the last pendant is. And a sword. So we're close. We're pretty heckin' close. With Cape, is Bob's chest, big chest, Ice Armos in logic? I don't think there's any sort of logical implications to do right side.
I don't think there are either, because...
You could do it without it. It just
without.
sucks. JP's gotta be a little careful here. Ooh.
Oh, not quite. Didn't quite hit.
That's not gonna hit either. That's gonna hit. Okay, well... Now we have some options. Now we can, once JP gets that, well, actually both players can go full clear Meyer now. So we avoided the double dip Meyer, which is good. JP gonna take that death ward.
Okay, that makes
continue
sense.
Left side, yeah.
That makes sense. Just get the quick refill.
So yeah, it's really going to come down to where that T-Rock big is, because right now that hook shot is super isolated for Sean. There's our second
And then
sword.
there's another sword.
Oh my god. 2 swords in GT.
That sword's out of logic. One thing I'll touch on quickly regarding that path on the right side with the fire bars, as Iceman is asking about, I believe the way that the game intends for you to get through there without invulnerability is to actually walk down farther than the pot that you have to pick up to go to the right, to let the fire bar pass you, and then go back up as the floor is falling, basically. So it's a really tight window.
Yeah, I at the end of a stream I hosted Codeman, and he actually literally just showed, because he was doing a door, or I think he was doing a door shuffle, and he actually showed me that exact thing where you have to walk down to activate the second fire bar, just so it's on a working timer that allows you to walk through it.
It's really weird, because otherwise, if you try to walk through it, like it's going to knock you off.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Do we have any potions or anything? Because if you have full health, you can do some sword beams, and that would make this suck so much less.
Sword beams would be good. I'm not even sure that the Master Sword spins are really worth much on this. They're going to do tempered damage, which is the same as Fighter Sword damage on these things. Armos has a really weird damage table.
He's kind of busted. I mean, he's got the boomerang DT. Why doesn't he just use that?
I mean, honestly, something I've done is throw the boomerang as I'm using the sword and just like try and hit something that the sword's not reaching.
Yeah, it seems useful to kind of multitask.
It's weird.
I've seen people do like damage or dash pokes, but I feel like that's always with tempered or gold sword, not with master sword.
Yeah.
I just know that
The
master sword
unfortunate thing is
slashes are useless.
They're very bad on this fight.
Like, I don't know if they're worse than fighter sword or
They are.
equivalent to fighter sword pokes or something. They're just
They do, for whatever reason, like they actually do half the damage that a regular fighter sword slash would do on this fight.
neat.
The spin is at least going to help a little bit, but yeah, like this red Armos is going to take quite a while.
Good old CrossKeys.
It's consistent at least. I mean, it's safe.
Tempered sword in the big chest. No, wait. Oh.
Also, down to just this last one, I would use Fire Rod.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Oh, he almost got knocked over.
there they are. Wait a
Nice.
minute. Wait. No, that's in logic because of where
That's in
Samari
logic,
was.
right
So you had to go into Hera to get your fire rod.
Oh my god.
To go into Ice Palace to get Cadence Samari to do right side GT to get your flippers to get to your hammer on East Dark World. That is what this game wanted you to do, and that still need a GT small. Do you need all 4 GTs? Because the last one is on the pedestal. Because we came in here, they both came in here with 3 GT smalls.
You know what? I wonder if, yeah, because it could assume that you would open the middle door.
Yeah, if they had all 3, if they had
we
3,
did have
then-
3 coming in.
Yeah.
So JP's gonna have a bit of an easier time here with sword beams at least.
Yeah, sword beams are so good. Like, if it's sword beams or Kinaburna. Like, if you don't have a bow, those are my two favorite things to use on Armos to make it suck less.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what a sequence. We can play the game now, Will. We did it.
Oh my gosh!
So hold on, what dungeons can we actually go and beat now? That we have the Mire Big, we can go beat that.
We can beat Meyer.
We don't know what it is. Is it really just Skull and Mire that we don't have map info for?
Do we know about T-Rock? It looks like Sean has the
And
TR.
Okay.
I don't think Sean actually has the
Looks like he
T-Rock
has.
map. He has the Meyer map. We
Yes.
did get that in GT. So
I don't know. Either way, we can beat Skull
T-Rock
now.
map too.
We can beat. Oh my god, I'm blanking.
it sounds like we got
Mire, that one.
and
Mire's the other 5/6. TR's a crystal.
so Skullwoods is the last pendant.
That's how it seems.
Pod, Thieves, Skull. Okay. So we need a T-Rock big. We need a bow.
We need a swamp small as well.
We did get the
Or-
swamp
no,
small.
JP has it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was,
that's right. That was,
also
that was
in.
in Stealth's room.
Uh-huh.
So,
after
well, in
all that,
case,
we're just 2 items away from go mode, right?
not bad.
It's not
Easy.
bad. Yikes.
Sean's still gonna need that hook shot, so JP might be heading right over to Swamp right now because that's at the library.
Mhm.
I think that's exactly what you need to do in this situation.
Yeah. I feel like if he
His
was to
Desert
go back,
is in Kakariko.
if he was to go back and beat Hera and beat Ice, he needs to do them anyway. But if he can well, he can Hera pot now, so that's not a big deal, and he's gonna Icebreaker
was here?
anyway. So this was the powder.
Oh no.
Thieves Town behind Hammer.
I'm.
Do you check the front 4 and then bail? I feel like you check the front 4.
I wouldn't have done any of this, honestly. There's crystals. You're an hour 45 in. You actually not having a single dungeon beaten.
Oh my! I didn't even notice he didn't have any dungeons beaten.
Yeah, and then that does not feel good in this mode. You ran right by Swamp. That's at the library. Desert Back is at C-Shape. So I guess
yeah.
that's actually right in this area. But you gotta just start beating known crystals at this point. I would completely ignore Thieves Town right now, personally.
If he was like 1 item away from go mode, maybe. Okay, he's gonna skip on the rest. I think checking the front 4 is probably okay. Sean finding the dam finally. This is first time over in East Palace area.
Oh yeah.
So, which is the exact opposite
I
of what you said about early game routing. Which is funny.
It's interesting, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've been there before. Go to the East Palace area really, really late. And neither of these have runners have even been to the pod area. We haven't seen any of that.
No, we have not seen. I think we might see that right now, or after he checks this, because he'll be able to mirror to check the other stuff in this area. So we'll get our first looks at pod, I guess.
So what I'm wondering is, this is going to be his map check. I don't think Sean has confirmed his dungeons yet. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe, not sure. But at this point, like, what is Sean looking for? Like, I'm curious why he's checking stuff as opposed to.
Oh no, JP. You have a green potion?
I guess he wanted to save it. Interesting. Okay.
I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The thing I'm curious about is if you're Sean, what do you need JP to do to maintain your advantage? And if you're JP, what do you need Sean to do to try and close this gap a little bit? The big thing that JP has, he wanted to do this right now, I guess. Interesting.
I don't think he wanted
Yeah,
to
beating
do
the dungeon
this.
he
I
would
think
have.
he just kind of like, well, I guess I'll do this since I screwed up. Oh!
Tempered's a big deal, though.
Wow, okay. Well, that's good because he knows where powder is, and now he doesn't have to go back and get it.
True. Because the big thing that JP has that Sean is still missing is the hook shot. But like as soon as Sean finds the TR big, like that's going to be a very easy thing for Sean to stumble on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the other connector I was waiting to see, so maybe this throws us into the Mire area.
Yeah, because we haven't seen
I
any of
think-
that yet.
I think that's about all we haven't seen, actually.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
But we've seen all of our dungeons.
Right, so what can be over here that Sean would even need? We've seen all of the big item caves.
I'm sure there's big bomb
Bomb shop? Oh.
Mire and Desert.
Not a very attractive spot for that.
No, that's a... No, I mean, we didn't pop out a Pyramid Fairy, but you would need the flute to get that. I'm just curious why Sean's going for this stuff as opposed to, like, clearing Mire or beating Moth. Stuff like that. Dungeons that he can go beat. I'm just curious what is he looking for?
Yeah, it's a fair thing to wonder about.
But I also wonder if Sean has all of his dungeon info or not. Because it doesn't look like it based on his tracker, but...
No, it looks like he's still got a skull as a question mark. Actually, that might be it. Everything else seems to have info there. Or no, I don't see for Eastern either.
He's got a map there. So for Sean, he needs to go back to Dark Ice Rod Cave? No, he needs to go back to Laser Bridge. Oh, which is even worse. Because that was through Spiral Cave on top of Hyrule Castle. But here's the thing. He didn't have cape or swords to check Castle Tower, so he's got to have that in his mind somewhere, that at least it's, you know, a second item, a second check he could do. Also, now we're gonna see Mushroom turn-in, finally. Now that it's in logic, and JP got to do his fake powder. And we're finally seeing the first chest of Hookshot Cave. So yeah, Sean needs to find the T-Rock Big as soon as possible. JP has a little bit of time. That hookshot's gonna help. But, yeah. We just need a T-Rock Big and a bow. That's it. That's all we need.
The concern I have for JP is that the longer he goes without beating any of his known crystal dungeons right now, the more time that gives Sean to inevitably find the hookshot.
Mm-hmm. And, you know... Oh!
There's... Okay.
Wow.
Okay. This is working out.
Man, for how long JP had that mushroom on him, if he had just turned that in, I mean, he'd be out of a tempered sword at this point. But
I think that would have been a reasonable trade-off, knowing what we know.
I would take a required bow over a sword upgrade. Yeah, if Sean heads back to the castle, this could swing back in his favor. But he needs... I don't think he... No, he does have the mushroom. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went to the
be...
waterfall. He has powder as well. So he can just freely turn in the mushroom and then get the magic bat on his own.
JP heading to Mire? Well, Viddy's gonna be a lot easier now.
Oh, back to Hera.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Yep, get Hera done. You've got Mire on the other side of the mountain. Hoping that he didn't miss Mark's swamp anywhere, because he was the first one to find the dam pretty early, I think. And yeah, that swamp palace was seen pretty early on as well.
It's tough, because when you have swamp this late, you like really want to be able to just go load it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is scary, though? That bow puts, you know, that makes the GT climb available now. Nobody wants to do that. I don't...
Oh, I think the fairy fountain's at the Ganon drop.
Yeah.
So we're not going to beat that.
But I need to actually read up on GT key logic, because with a key on the pedestal, like, does that lock out Moldern 2 logically or something?
I think it would. Yeah, on the assumption that you could open the middle door, I'm assuming that it would lock out Moldern 2. You could still climb logically for 3 items.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I'm going to make note of right here is that Sean did not mirror and turn in that mushroom. He's just coming right back over here. We do have the Eastern big key, I think. So yeah, he's just going to look for Eastern here and beat it.
Well, Sean's not. He doesn't have the bow yet.
Oh, right. Like, but
JP can
said
beat
that
it.
he didn't turn his thing to get the bow.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
The more notable thing, though, shut up, DT. The more notable thing, no.
Wow.
He was right there. All he had to do was go through Spiral Cave again to get back to that. That was his last chance of getting that hook shot for a while. So
that's a really, really good point. Yeah, because that's. I mean, unless we find the TR big, that would be the only other way. So yeah, best case, And I guess this is why I really want JP to get to Swamp and get to the back. Like, if the TR big key is in the back of Swamp, that's gonna be... That's probably gonna be a huge, huge advantage for JP then.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. We're finally seeing Meyer. We've had access to this ever since we got the boots from turning into
almost
Smith.
an hour ago.
Yeah. So now if TR Big just shows up in here, then Sean's not in too bad. He's still in a little bad shape, but he does have a couple dungeons over JP right now. Well, he just has Cold Stare, but Cold Stare's a bit of a walk. Yeah, right now JP he needs to find the TR Big. That is his go mode right now. While Sean needs to get his hook shot out of Crystal Roller Room, which the only way we know how to get there is by going backwards from Laser Bridge, which was at Mimic Cave, which you got there via Spiral Cave on top of the castle. So really out of the way. Which is just kind of unfortunate for Sean because he was the first one to find that, but didn't have Samaria yet. So he didn't have that opportunity. And then he needs to go turn in his mushroom for that bow. Now, there's still another bow out there somewhere. I guess we also haven't seen the rest of Pod. We haven't seen much of Pod, to be honest.
No, we were there early with the one small key, and I think we found a couple
lamp.
cents.
And, well, yeah. We found a few. Let's see.
So,
GP has 3, while Sean has 2. So that'd at least get you to the back.
Yeah, and with JP having the bow, access to right side, would be able to... Well, the front door's already open, so that doesn't matter, I guess.
Where... This is the roughest part about CrossKeys, or I guess any kind of seed, is when you have so much left to do, and you just need one more big key, and the game's like, hey, here's the one you didn't want. That always happens.
You know what, though? While we're still looking for, even if it's only one item, I'd rather have that now and be able to full clear Swamp than go through and then find it later and then have to go back.
True. I mean, if you're going to get a Swamp Small, you might as well get it now before you've been to Swamp. But obviously you would have rather have just gotten the T-Rock Big and been in go mode.
Well, okay, yeah, that's totally valid.
But yeah, this is looking good for JP. As long as he continues on this route, he's gonna keep.
Yo, nice refill.
Yeah, that's really.
Nah,
clutch.
he still took the heart. Oh well.
And other than the Swamp Big, that's the only thing we found worth a damn in here. Did JP do cutscene chest? I missed it if he didn't. He did?
Yep, he did.
Okay.
That was a full heart, I believe.
Nice. So, could be on Vidi. T-Rock Big could be upstairs GT. Could be probably in Swamp. We still have more stuff in Pod. We have Eastern Big Chest and Eastern. We have like a couple overworld spots like Spike Cave or Mimic Cave. We haven't gone back to those with the hammer yet.
I think one of those we might never see because it was at race game left, and that's kind of annoying to get to.
Yeah, that was Mimic Cave. That was a bit out of the way. That'd be kind of tough to go back for.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of reason to be in that area in the Dark World anymore.
Yeah, if there was any time JP should have checked it, it was when he was... Wasn't he just there? Didn't he run by there recently?
Yeah, that was my concern because of Swamp at the library.
Yeah, he went and did Desert and then fake powdered for Tempered. I mean, it's
nice
easy.
Good double spins.
It's easy to lose sight of where dungeons are. It depends on how much tracking you actually do.
Absolutely.
All right, well, another crystal for JP.
There's
T-Rock
really
Big yet.
nothing easy about this mode.
No. Especially when your first sword is 96 minutes in. That's a tough one. I feel like that's how it goes. You either get like 1 or 2 swords early, or you get like 3 swords 90 minutes in. There's no in between.
Alright, what's next, JP?
Sean trying to set up this fun little door extension. Having a little trouble there. I don't know about trying to like line up pixel wise. I'll usually, you walk in the door, you walk back down, then you slash up 1 and then dash turn down, but I still suck at it. More often than not, it just ends up losing time than saving time, especially when you get a fire snake up there anyway. But it looks cool when you can do it.
Well, Ice Palace should be relatively quick for JP to get through at least.
Yep.
Quick icebreaker, get the last couple of things that you weren't able to the first time.
Yeah, I gotta think we're almost at the 2-hour mark. How these players are feeling right now. You know, you would feel pretty good about sequence breaking that hammer when you did, but at the same time, it's like my opponent could have done this whenever. Who knows when they did that? Who knows when they went and got that hammer? And JP got his hammer what? 20 minutes after Sean did, something like that, maybe.
It was a pretty sizable amount.
Mm-hmm.
And just having it lock so much. I mean, like, how many dungeons actually is it? There's 1, 2, 3, several dungeons that absolutely like hard require it. Dude, I'm actually getting tired. It is late. But yeah, no, that's something that you want to find as early as possible, like in almost any mode that you're playing. Like hammer is such a valuable item. I mean, there really just hasn't been much about this scene that would feel good. I mean, it's been rough watching it, just piecing the logic together.
Yeah.
Like for how to get that hammer. Never mind not having like any offensive capability aside from ice rod and bombs for honestly over half of what we've played so far.
I feel like
it's been rough.
Honestly, if we had at least a fighter sword, then a lot of this wouldn't have felt as bad.
Oh, definitely not.
When all you have are bombs and ice rod, even the easiest tasks seem challenging or tedious. Hell, remember JP in the sewers of Hyrule Castle with the rats? I mean,
yeah,
hand him a sword,
and
piece of
he was
cake.
only on like 4 hearts at that, 4 or 5 hearts at that point. Like, this cold stare was much easier than Sean's was, though. 3 swords later.
That'll do it. Oh yeah, and Sean's gonna lose a little bit of time here not having the bow on the second phase and not even having tempered, so gonna have to go for hammer and master sword spins.
This is, and that's exactly what I mean about the Vidi bouncing, like that damage that he just took. That's equivalent to 36 master sword slashes. This fight is
many.
It's rough.
If I'm in this situation, though, I like to try and get Vidi down into the corner and then just kind of cycle between slashes and hammers. Try and fit as many hammers hits in as possible.
And just because of the movement and the bouncing up and down, like it is actually, I think, a little bit easier and generally safer to hit Vidi from the side. And honestly, I think that kind of relates to like an NMG style Landmo fight where you want to be on the left or the right if possible rather than up and down, just based on how enemies move through the air in this game.
Yeah, well, I'm sure as hell not going to stand above or below Vidi with a hammer. Not with that hitbox. Ugh. That's so bad. Well, we are going to get some new information on JP's side. We're going to see that Eastern Palace Big Chest and Armos.
But it's really interesting that Sean was actually up 3 crystals at one point, and now we are even at 4 apiece. And it's the same 4. So JP is actually going to take a lead here.
Oh yeah, we do. That's where Skullwoods was. Now this is a pendant, so going for a pendant item here, but that's the thing is with Witch's Hut, that thing being at Dark Sank is really not a convenient check to do. It'd be one thing if we had the flute, because turning in the mushroom with the flute isn't too bad. Just the combination of the two. It's so much easier to just focus on dungeons than wanting to go for a really really obnoxious overworld check. But I mean that's the same case with like Mimic Cave and Spike Cave, and I'm waiting for Spike Cave to just have that TR big or something. I also hope Sean eventually checks Magic Bat soon, gets his Tempered Sword, helps speed up some of these boss fights. I've been really enjoying the Cadence of Hyrule music. It's been nice. It's been a nice change. Wow, there's half magic. Now Spike Cave is in logic. Here we go. Let's go.
That's one that I'm still not sure of the logic on. Like, do you need half magic? Or do we have 13 hearts and cape and a bottle, and is that enough?
Well, I think I almost want to say that it's different. The logic has changed between the old entrance shuffle that's used versus the current version, but at the same time, how the hell I don't know. I don't fucking know. You can't. I have no idea. That's why I just always.
That was the big one.
Last location, Hookshot Cave or Spike Cave, and lose.
I'm curious what Sean's play is right now. Because like he has swamp available as well. The difference is not having the hook shot, so
yeah,
that's a very easy thing to say. I'm going to not do this until I get the hook shot because it absolutely sucks to go through without. And that would be perfectly reasonable. But I just don't know what all Sean actually has available aside from that.
Oh, I guess that is a good point. Because that Swamp Small was hookshot locked. Yeah, you wouldn't go into Swamp at all. Because the Swamp Small was in Stalfo's room, right?
No, right. What if, though, like, the TR Big is in here?
Right.
And that sends Sean back to the area where the hookshot actually is, like...
I think, well, in this case for Sean, he's going to hope that the T-Rock Big is in one of those one-offs like Mimic Cave or Spike Cave.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's looking for, just any other stray item entrance that might exist.
The thing is, I don't remember how many single item locations we still have left. Single item caves. I'm sure there's one.
There can't be much.
Yeah.
We've seen Waterfall Fairy, we've seen Pyramid Fairy. I'm not going to try to list every single one, but we've seen the majority of them, I think.
Oh, there was that GT Small that Sean didn't have. Okay. Wonder if JP's going to go ahead and just full clear or go to the back first. He just needs a T-Rock Big. Mimic Cave was at Maze Race left. I don't remember where Spike Cave was.
Same. I didn't write that one down.
Sean is going to get his...
Sean's turning in the mushroom.
Bow, and this works out because he remembers that this is a connector that takes him to Bumper Ledge. So that's going to work out.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
It's a nice time save. I think JP did the same, or he came from that area.
Yeah, JP came from over there.
I remember what happened. He got kicked out at Skullwood's boss. I think, while he was checking connectors.
Yeah, so he was already in the Dark World, and he was able to just go back across the river.
Oh, there is another TR Small, not that we need more, but we have all of them now. Still no T-Rock Big. Well, now the question for Sean is, I mean, he's not going to, he's no way in hell is going to T-Rock, so I would assume he's either going to go finish Eastern. He's probably going to finish Eastern and then go dip pod. I mean, you take that bow and go check out some of that.
Yeah, with the bow, you absolutely ride that train for a bit. Because what all does he even have in TR? I think it is just Crystal Roller at this point. And as we've discussed, Laser Bridge is not an accessible spot. So yeah, you stick with what you can do as quickly as you can do it. And for Sean, that's going to wind up being Eastern Palace and anything else in pod that we haven't seen yet, which is most of it.
Yeah. We've seen the first room, the arena bridge, and the drop down.
And the Stealthless drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just those three.
All right, JP, left side swamp, or are you heading elsewhere? Heading back in.
I think that's correct here.
It's either this, a bunch of overworld one-offs, or
Did we ever see Purple Chest?
I don't think we did. I'm not sure, but I don't think we did. Oh man.
Oh right, that's how JP got shot out over there.
Mm-hmm. Only Sean already had that
I
T-Rock
wonder-
big. Be right there. Piece
Like
of cake.
yeah, every run is going to be different, but I wonder if just that little bit of TR, like seeing, hey, the laser eye door, if that puts in his mind that Crystal Roller is still available.
I don't remember if he had the compass for it or not. I'm sure he remembers it, but like after just getting the bow, I'm sure he wants to do that stuff first. But with this route, he might actually, do Mimic Cave and Purple Chest. Oh, Thieves. We still have the back of Thieves Town. Oh my gosh.
And I think at this point, this might be a full clear.
Yeah. This seed still has so much potential to be awful, because that T-Rock Big could be in some really nasty spots.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if it's in the back here, JP already did the first 4. When does JP come back here?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's the thing, is like, if he finds T-Rock Big, he can go finish T-Rock, he'll get his hook shot, and then, he'll be able to go mode the rest. So, this race ain't over yet until we find that T-Rock Big.
Oh, it's not.
Because, I mean, for him, like, Eastern Palace is just 2 items. Thieves Town has a bunch of items. Pod
Right.
has a ton of items.
Yeah, you're getting another 8 here.
And,
Is it 12 or 14 in pod?
well, there's 6 keys, plus the 5 items, plus the
So
3
14.
dungeon items. Right?
So yeah, so there's like another 11 things to check there.
Yeah. It'd be different if
I don't
Ice
think we can
Palace
do all of it.
was convenient, or if he had the flute.
All right, nothing left side swamp for JP. Where do you go next? JP, actually, he is... Okay, I was going to say he's not far from Thieves Town. And at this point, he doesn't have any other beatable crystals.
I'd go Pod.
But Pod would make perfect sense here. Save and quit. Pod's just right over in the Hylia area.
Quickest one to get
So
to,
this is
highest
free.
density of checks that he has right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, when you're looking for one thing, that's what you do. And then that's why I agree with going back into Swamp to check left side. Like, you're one item from go mode, you can't really afford to start skipping stuff that's right in your way. And yeah, speaking of the density of it, yeah, just going straight to the back.
Oh, wow.
There it is, on Sean's side.
And just like that, delete his chain.
So now the laser bridge connector is not even necessary. Dark Ice Rod right is that's the big chest entry.
So yeah, at this point, you go beat Eastern, and then I guess you would... Well, there's the flute for JP, which of course we don't need at this point.
I'm not even sure that'll speed anything up for him.
Nah, because I don't think he'd want to be looking for new entrances. I don't think there's really anything out there that he needs. Like, oh gosh,
Ew.
suddenly all this crap shows up. Well, good for JP that Sean's, clearing all of Thieves Town.
I think that's still correct at this point. Like,
Yeah.
on the chance of hookshot, that's too important of a thing with a couple items here to just leave.
Yeah, Vortex is making a good point. Like, you go beat Eastern, and then you do the T-Rock Big Chest all the way to Laser Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find your hookshot for Go Mode, and then you beat Trinex.
Yeah, so that spiral cave connector is kind of irrelevant for Sean at this point, which
And-
is secretly the best thing for him that he does not know about.
I feel like in this kind of situation, maybe this is why just doing the first 4 Thieves is bad. Because JP's not going to go back and do the back of Thieves. Well, what else does he still have? He has... I don't think he's seen the 2 items in Castle Tower. He still has Skull Boss.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of it after Pod.
That-
He'll beat Pod, he'll
Skull
turn in
Boss
Green
is in a-
Tenant.
Back of Skull's in a really bad spot though. Like, I don't see JP climbing the mountain to get the Paradox Top just for that.
Well, he could
When
take
there are
Floating
at least a
Island.
couple other things available.
He could activate Flute and take Floating Island, but that sounds terrible.
He could, but I mean, if he's gonna do that too, then hit the Dark World portal and just finish Thieves at that point too, right in Outcasts.
Yeah, true.
Like, I mean, these are there's so many different things to think about when you're just trying to get to these last couple of things that you need on the fly, and you're trying to find what's most efficient, and you're trying to like do it as fast and cleanly as possible, and it's not easy.
I would also, you know, with this key situation, I would not stick around in Pod. I would not kill Helma, actually. Because it's not in logic. But JP's going to set up the safe scum. I guess. Oh, looks like he's going to... Oh, okay. No, I like this. This is fine. He's going to check this, and then he can reset. But is he really going to come back and immediately do Helma? I don't know. That feels like a bad call when it's out of logic. When you don't have all 6 pod smalls.
It's interesting. For me, I'm willing to kind of throw pod key logic out the window in CrossKeys. Starting back from his house, so we'll see if he goes right here, then I'm going to say it's a Helma clear. That's left, so I am not going to... Oh, it's a shovel check, probably.
We are going to see purple chest. So yeah, for Sean, he just needs to head back to T-Rock now. He'll get his hook shot, and then he's good to go. JP needs to go finish the rest of Thieves Town. What's worse is he did the first 4 and then skipped the attic, and literally attic is the very next chest. But...
Oh, purple chest had a...
pod small.
I wonder if that sends Sean over to pod before finishing Eastern, then. That's a lot of small keys now for...
Maybe.
It kind of looks like it right this moment.
He might. No.
Nope, he changed his mind.
That is a lot of items, but like, it'd be one thing if pod was a crystal, but with it being a pendant, it's like, nah. Yeah, I wonder if this means JP is gonna go check the mire area and stuff.
Yeah, he's dash fluting. But I mean, same. Actually, he's going to. I have no idea.
I guess he's gonna
What's he-
check. Nothing. But
Oh, he never
did the
right,
pod.
because he went through Hookshot Cave at Eastern, so he never checked Flute 5. He's going back into Hookshot Cave then. Okay. I don't mind this. I think that actually makes perfect sense for him.
Sean's going to Laser Bridge now to go beat Trinex.
Interesting.
I wonder if he'll check Crystal Roller first. I doubt it. Maybe. I mean... I can't believe T-Rock Big Key showed up in the back of Thieves. That's nutty. Alright, another
Yeah,
pod small in here, maybe?
I'm trying to piece together how I would have even handled that situation. I think that I would have wound up going through... I mean, it's easy to say this now because I'm the one watching and I'm not in the driver's seat, but like... I feel like I would have found Thieves later than both of them, perhaps, and it would have automatically been a full clear for me. Like, I don't... It's very rare in almost any mode that I will only do the first 4. Like, trade secret or not, like, that's I am too thorough of a player.
Yeah.
I've seen things back there too many times, and honestly, it doesn't take that much time to get through it. So yeah, this is going to be hookshot for Sean, and I believe go mode for Sean.
Yeah. I mean, this works out really well because you just go up here, you grab it, you mirror, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really, it just came down to JP just bailing on Thief Sound, which I think is a reasonable play to make when you have Crystal Dungeon still to beat. You know, the first 4 checks at Thief Sound are real quick. Quick-ish. But that's the risk you take, is because when you do that, then you're much more likely to just never go back and do the rest of Thieves until it's the last thing you do. Kind of like how
and I think
he's never going to go back and kill Helma until it's the last thing he does, pretty much.
correct. I think that's a huge reason of why I don't like splitting places up like that, because it devalues what's left there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just keep it all one big chunk.
And I'm not sure what he's looking for. There's got to be another item cave out there somewhere, maybe. Be the only reason why you'd be checking more stuff. But it's interesting going for this as opposed to, like, you know, we still have Spike Cave and Mimic Cave. Purple chest.
Oh. Okay,
You know,
we'll see what's up here. No, we won't.
You just
Never
want to
mind.
spend some money. That's kind of the other thing, is it's like, I got this flute, so it's got to lead to something, right? Oh, that's the last pod small right there.
Well, that should mean that we're never going to see a Helma clear, at least.
No. What is going on? I think JP couldn't cast Ether or something? I wonder if it's because he still had Big Bomb. Maybe it's because of Big Bomb. Maybe because he picked it up Big Bomb and dropped it, but he was still, like, had the bomb follower. Maybe you can't use medallions when you have the bomb following you. Weird.
I wonder. I mean,
that's got to be why. I can't think of any other reason why that wouldn't work.
That sequence right there is not something you're ever going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess that would make sense. See something new in the game.
Well, if this is the Thieves Town play, this is going to be closer. All he has to do is go to the attic. While Sean still has to go beat...
quite be enough at a glance.
Still has to go beat Swamp. Sean's still checking stuff. Oh!
This is
Mimic
the
Cave.
No, oh no.
It's Mimic Cave. He might go back.
Mimic Cave is one check faster than anything remaining in Thieves, but Thieves is 4 times the value at this point. So yeah, hopefully he goes back up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Swamp is super easy to get to. I mean, he does...
Thieves Town is at the Hammer House, rather, in Outcast, Southeast.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, like, Sean getting to Swamp while JP goes to TR. He does have the flute, but I think it was the front of TR that was at Lightworld Laser, so he would have to go through Paradox Cave to get kicked out into Dark Ice Rock Cave, I think it was.
Okay, he's going back up. This could be over very quickly for Sean, though, because Swamp is at Library. Although... trying to think of his fastest way back. Honestly, I think if he were to run south right now and hit the portal into, or north of Kakariko, I think that's probably his fastest way back to Eastern right now. But a save and quit back to either Link's house or Sanctuary is probably fine.
Where was Sank again? Oh, that was Lumberjack.
The tree.
Right. Yeah, it looks like JP is going to go for Purple Chest. Unfortunate, but it's a tough call to make either way. But I think he's going to go into Thieves right afterwards. But it's going to be a little too late,
Setting up
unfortunately.
the portal there for that reason.
like Laser
Yeah, 'cause
Bridge
then as
was
soon as-
just in Kakariko or something, maybe.
Sean is gonna run right by Swamp, though.
See ya. Bye, Swamp.
I wonder if he just mismarked it. Tavern is Tavern. So.
Yeah, it looks like it. Whoops. It happens. Yeah, if JP
Yeah, the problem for JP now is that Laser Bridge is just not easy to get to, no matter which of the entrances you go through.
Even if he was to, yeah. It might have been closer if he had gone straight into Thieves Town right afterwards, but it's just one of those things, like, this would have been over if JP had just stuck it out in Thieves Town the first time he was in here. But...
I mean, like you said, though, I think bailing at that point was correct because he had, what, 2 or 3 crystals to beat at that point, so...
Yeah, he still had to finish
time
Easter.
spent in a pendant dungeon isn't great.
He still had to finish Swamp. The thing is, for me, though, like, you know, not even for me, just in general, like, you know, people want to skip pendant dungeons, so, like, I'd be doing everything I could to never go back into Pod. So, I feel like it would have been easier to commit to Thieves Town, but I probably wouldn't have... I don't know, it's tough. It's really hard to say. He might not have had any crystals yet at that point.
I think that's correct.
Which, in that case, it's very understandable.
But there's his go mode, so... I mean, this'll...
It's still going to be close.
This is still on pace to finish within a couple minutes of each other,
Yeah.
which after 2.5 hours, fine.
And, you know, in a race like this where the outcome doesn't really matter because, you know, this is pretty much just playing for fun. Because, you know, none of these players are progressing to the bracket stage of this tournament. And I am glad that I got to restream this. And thanks again, DT, for hopping in and doing some comms.
It was fun.
I had a blast. It was a hell of a lot more fun than that swordless race I did earlier today. That sucked.
It's just fun to hang out and... You know, you used one of a swear earlier. I'm gonna get my quota one. It's fun to just hang out and shoot the shit talking about some Zelda for a bit.
Fuck yeah. Isn't swearing fun when it feels super forced? Alright. Anyway. Chat, this is not a professional stream. We are not paid actors. We are just a couple of dudes throwing it up. So
this is just your channel where you're acting no different than you normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was also just kind of one of those, I want to put something together to kind of just get used to doing it, because I want to start doing these more often. Not always something in like a tourney segment, just kind of a fun pickup game. But I had an opportunity to restream my buddy's CrossKeys Tourney, so I took the opportunity. So hopefully more of these in the future for sure. But here we are at the end, nearing the end.
Can't forget, Willard. Shout-outs to our fine trackers this evening as well, SeanRhapsody and BrewersFanJP.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job. I saw 0 mistakes. And we're going to find out from Ganon himself where the heck them silvers were. Bet they were locked upstairs or something.
Upstairs GT or... No, we actually saw all of Swamp, so it can't be there. Spike Cave?
Spike Cave? Helma? Yo, this is gonna be really close.
It will be. Like, this still isn't over. Like, like, Sean's definitely gonna be heading in... If I'm gonna guess, probably close to a minute ahead, but that's a minute. That's not that much. Really, really clean Trinex from JP, getting the back door, just the one cycle.
Alright, Sean heading into phase 3. Tempered Sword making quick work of the first 2 phases. Nice stuff. No silver, so gonna have to get some Temper Sword spins going on in here. It's not over yet, but Sean looking to take this for sure.
What do we got?
Helmet Star game. Wow. Bow locked bow.
Nice.
What a funny game.
Nice.
A little too early on that fire rod, but that's what, 2 spins in now? It's gonna be close. It's always nice to see
Not
CrossKeys
quite getting the
races
case
come down to like a minute, less than a minute. We've seen a few that
Yeah.
came down to like a couple seconds, which is like ridiculous unless like both players completely full clear the game.
Like, the longer that a race goes on, you expect there to be a larger gap in the times.
Mhm.
So, I mean, the longer the race goes on, the closer that it finishes. I love that.
Only a couple more spins for Sean. A little slow on getting the triples, but that's gonna do
Just
it.
the one more.
Wow. Despite 2.5 hours, and it comes down to our runners in both runners in the Ganon fight. That's kind of nuts.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, JP just now starting phase 4. That's a phase apart. That's it.
That's it. You know, this could have came down to even just like Sean not getting the sword upgrade on Magic Bat or something.
Yeah.
That'd have been a crazier close race, but
Because they got the same 3 swords. We don't know where a 4th one is.
yeah. Alright, well, I'll let JP finish this up, and we'll see if they want to come in and chit-chat with us for a bit. JP nearing the end of this phase 4. A couple more spins. Seems like he's having a little bit easier of a time on this phase 4 Ganon. Getting more of the triples.
He's definitely been getting more of the triples, and sometimes there's just nothing you can do. Ganon just goes where you're not quite anticipating him for your setup, and
Yeah,
it can be tough to get that spin.
and that's gonna
That'll
do
do
that.
it for JP.
Yep.
Sean didn't stop his timer, so I don't know how far apart they're actually going to be. I don't want
Wow,
to waste time on.
close race. Alright, well, let's see if we can get them in. GG's to both runners. Finishing
Definitely.
up the group stage, or the Swiss round of the CrossKeys tournament. Sean gonna finish up 4-4. JP gonna finish up 3-5, which it's CrossKeys, man. You never know what can happen. But all right, let's see if we want to get them in for a little chit chat. Go ahead and mute that. Come on in. Let's get some tunes going. Chat, what kind of music you want? Party time is limited to 2 people. I'll fix it. Welcome, Sean. GG's. Please stop your timer for the love of... No, it's fine.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, indeed.
And JP as well. What's going on? Welcome in. GG to you.
GG.
Man, that was close.
Very close. No delay,
So
so,
much back and forth in this.
you guys haven't
I
had
will
really
say.
an opportunity to chit-chat a little, but... Yeah, it was, you know... That hammer. First of
Oh,
all.
God.
That
I'm
was a
still
hammer.
not entirely sure what the logical access to that was.
It took us a while.
I haven't thought about it yet.
Best I could figure is you were supposed to dip weaponless through both Hera and Ice to get Samaria and Fire Rod, so you could get through GT to get flippers.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes
Yep.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh, man.
Pretty great, huh?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So, overall, you know, a lot of back and forth, a lot of early game. You guys are kind of flipping back and forth, finding new stuff. I think the first like thing that really showed up that started directing us where we were gonna go next was the mitts out of Skullwoods, which JP got first. Sean, you kind of missed for a while because you unfortunately died to the fake rats in the bomb hut.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
And then
Forgot about the extra heart of damage that's getting done in Dark World, so I just walked right into it.
and then yeah, also we saw a little bit of that on JP's side with with the back of the sewers.
Let's I don't even want to know. Like I just
That was the first time I've ever seen a key getting lodged in a wall that you couldn't get because of the weird... I think it has something to do with a frozen enemy can kind of travel further in a wall than normal. Which is why that key did... I've never seen that before, so that was really unfortunate.
Actually, there was something else.
Crazy unfortunate.
Something else you had done, JP, that we had never seen before was when you were trying to use Ether to open Mire, but couldn't for some reason.
Best I could think of was I had grabbed the bomb because I was thinking about going to Pyramid. That was probably what cost me time too. Is I should have trusted myself because at that point, I only had one cave I thought of that I still had items in, which I don't know if I don't think I ever saw Waterfall.
I saw it, but I don't remember where it was.
I think both you guys saw it. I remember seeing it on both your screen.
Then I just had bad notes, which I did have for most of this seed.
This was
Just trying to figure this.
This was a tough seed to take notes on. I felt like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what happened was I grabbed the bomb and then I left it behind because I felt I'm not gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing the game still thought I had the follower, so I couldn't use the medallion.
Yeah. That's
kind of weird.
my only.
I didn't think that's the thing.
That's the only thing I could think of for how that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like JP got the boots at an hour. Sean got him at like an hour 3.5, so it wasn't too far between that. But did the boots actually? Boots got us a Thieves Town big, which was inevitably required.
It actually wound up being required,
which is funny. And then it really just kind of came down to finding that logical hammer access, which Sean sequence broke to get to Pyramid very late, but still. I don't even remember, what was that, like an hour 20 or something? Hour 10 maybe?
It was a fair bit before JP as well. And then we wound up getting to one of the bigger lead changes in this. JP, you were actually behind by a couple of crystals and then quickly tied it up and actually was able to pull ahead for a bit. And then just the hunt for that TR big key is ultimately what decided this.
Yeah.
I guess I was fortunate that I still knew Thieves Town was out there, because I hadn't found it. So otherwise I probably would have thought about, because I never went back to Pod. Like, I probably would have done that if I didn't know Thieves Town was still around. So I was still looking for that. And even though it was less items, but no, I still wanted to find it.
I found it basically before I started my crystal rush, and I grabbed the front 4 and left. Which, at that point, I'm like, I'm not doing.
That's a reasonable play, I'd say. When you haven't finished any of your crystal dungeons, you still had like, all of Swamp, all of Mire, and then parts of Eastern, and both you guys at that point had only done like the first couple chests in Pod too, got that lamp and then bailed. So, to do the first 4 is that's very reasonable. So,
yeah.
I also probably helped that the hook shot was so late for me because I didn't want to go to Swamp without that.
Yeah. Because the thing is, if you hadn't found that T-Rod big, I don't know when the hell you're gonna get that hook shot, because you had found Laser Bridge with it before you had Kane, so you weren't able to get that hook shot.
That's like a ridiculous sense of deja vu for me, because that's why I lost my last race. Was the exact same scenario.
Oh wow!
I found Laser Bridge before Samaria, and the Pod big was in Crystal Roller Room.
So, like, after that all happened, we were just like, okay, well, Sean needs to make sure he needs to find T-Rock Big, and it needs to not be hookshot locked. Well, JP was just off, he was clearing Mire, he was clearing Swamp, he's clearing dungeons, and just hoping that T-Rock Big would show up, and then, I'm sure both you guys were like, oh, Big Key, and then Swamp. And then the disappointment ensued, but the other thing is just, like, how late it took you guys to even get any sort of real firepower. Like, that hammer for Sean was, like...
Swords were ridiculous.
That was, like, your first real weapon. And then, I think... And then the swords in right side GT. Because there was one, I think, in Compass Room. And then another one
on both sides.
In Rando Room. Or something. So... Like... To be forced into all these dungeons you can't complete because you don't have a weapon, like Hera, and even the simplest tasks, like killing Popos, is impossible with bombs or ice rod, so...
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to both you guys for getting through that, because that's rough. That's some rough stuff.
It was definitely annoying for sure.
Well,
I mean, I'm glad it was a nicely contested race for once. I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of those.
yeah,
Probably my closest one to date was the one against Shadow.
it's surprising, like, after 2.5 hours, how it could still come down to, like, a minute difference. Which is neat. And, this was basically a for fun last match, last hoorah of the tourney. So I guess you guys got a pretty good hoorah from this awful seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that one of us had to lose. I mean,
yeah, but at least this wasn't a winner
like
moves
a,
on
a
to play
elimination
in,
match
and
or anything like that. Yeah, that would have been real bad.
But no, you guys did great.
Nope, I was
GG's to
I
both
was glad
you
I
guys.
even got to participate in the tournament at all. So
So
it was
after
a lot of fun just getting to do lots of cross keys.
Yeah, I mean, after this whole 7 races, 8 rounds, right? How do you guys feel about cross keys now? You still enjoy it?
I still enjoy it. I mean, it can still be just crazy frustrating when the one little thing out of order can completely wreck you. I mean,
Are you guys looking forward to not having to practice this mode for a race every week?
yeah, that'll be nice. Although I never really got a chance to do any practice anyway. So
Okay.
I think I'm done with this mode for a while. Like, if it comes up a mystery, fine. But,
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
that's-
with mystery, at least you might get some other crap attached to it as well.
yeah, but
spiced it up a bit.
I started this tourney out 3-1, and then lost 4 straight here. I've lost I don't even know how many straight on the ladder at this point. It's like these seeds have just they've drained me and they've kicked my butt over and over, and I'm kind of just like ready to put the mode away for a while.
Yeah. I mean, that's the downside about playing longer modes, is that they can be extremely draining, and sometimes it's nice to just play like a casual boots or something, because it's like, well, at
Something
most,
short.
there's no way it's gonna take me 2 hours to beat this seed.
Yeah.
And shorter and a little bit easier on the brain.
Yeah. So, looking ahead, the next thing coming up is going to be the league. I know JP is going to be in it because he's on my team with my co-com DT. So we'll all be coming back for that. Sean, are you going to be participating in that?
Yep. Yeah, as of right now, I'm gonna be back in the open league with the same team I had last year. Actually,
Awesome.
they expressed interest in jumping back into it, so we're just gonna stick together and have some more fun.
Well, hell yeah. That's awesome. Well, good. I'm looking forward to watching, playing. It's going to be good for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. The team stuff is always a little bit more exciting, I think, than 1v1s or, the solo tourneys and stuff. So it'll be a nice change of pace.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us chat. Thank you guys so much for letting me restream your race.
Yeah, thanks for restreaming
Thanks for
it.
putting it on.
Thanks for
Thanks,
Thank
DT,
you
as
for
well.
the commentating, the both of you.
yeah, DT. Thanks for staying up late for this one to come calm with me.
Yeah, no, it was really good fun to watch.
I had a good time, and we did it earlier as well. But thanks for tracking for us, guys. It helped out a lot. And it ended up looking all right. Like it is fine. It looked fine.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it back to catch all the excitement because it definitely sounds like it was quite the race.
Yeah, just put it in 2x so it goes a little bit faster because it was that early game was a bit of a slog. But yeah, thanks everyone for participating. Good luck to y'all in the future tourneys and races and ladders and stuff. And chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching. Expect more of these in the future, whether tourney related or just kind of pick up races and stuff. I had a lot of fun. I look forward to doing more of these. And yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for something else.